Dang it.
Matt Hayes.
I'm not running over the Barnett Tower and heaving myself off it.
Mia O'Brien.
One of those bugs just flew in my mouth.
And Leon Searcy.
Keep everything above the way.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Yeah! Hump Day has arrived. Wednesday, noon hour, XL Primetime. Cranking it out, full house, and a good day. I think maybe even a day for us to kind of look back a little bit because the Florida Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony will take place tonight at the Florida Theater, and we will talk to one of the enshrinees, inductees, however you want to say it, one Leroy Butler, who grew up right here in Duval, and we'll look and talk about all the others as well. Greg Coleman's a great story, so many other ones, including Tom Coughlin, the headmaster. They are all going to be enshrined or inducted tonight, however you want to say it, and so we'll be talking a little bit about that, but it kind of got us talking in our pre-show just to go back in time and some of the great stories, athletes, teams, whatever it might be that we've seen in the state of Florida. And I don't know, Leon, whether like this whole Florida Sports Hall of Fame, kind of a nomadic thing, meaning the actual Hall of Fame is just kind of, it really hasn't had roots put down in any one place. I think Lake City for a while. It's nice to have it, and nice, I think, if we can do it where it becomes its permanent home here in the city of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great athletes we've been treated to in the Sunshine
Well, I
State.
mean, not only is it nice to have, it's nice to be enshrined. If you think about all the talent that comes out of the state of Florida, and the impact of all the athletes, and because listen, when it comes to recruiting, I don't care what it may be, basketball, football, baseball, whatever, state of Florida's got to rank somewhere in the top 5, top 10 in all those kind of areas. And you think about all the amazing athletes that have done so much, not only at the high school level,
right,
but at the collegiate level and at the professional level. Man, so those guys that are going in, you're talking about guys who had an impact on this state, just a phenomenal impact on this state for a very, very long time. And just the names that you riddled off earlier. I mean, Tom Coughlin. Come on now. He put Jacksonville on the map. He planted the flag a long time ago. All right, Jacksonville is who it is because of what Tom did in the late '90s. You're talking about Leroy Butler. You're talking about a guy who not only in high school was dominant, goes to Florida State, who's a dominant All-American. Then he goes to Green Bay. He's a freaking Hall of Famer. I mean, so those two alone, unless you know what kind of impact those guys have on the state of Florida.
I just realized we need to have a push to get a certain
it's not about me. It's not
lineman.
That's true.
It's not about me, baby. It's not about me.
We still need to get him in
I
college.
mean, Orlando's own, played at the University of Miami.
Yeah, but it's not about.
Yeah,
I mean, just get me on the ballot. That's all.
I just
want to see the ballot, take a picture, and keep it for myself.
College Football Hall of Fame. Honestly, we're going to attack that one, but Greg Coleman's another great story.
Greg Coleman,
that grew up right here in the city of Jacksonville, makes his home here once again. First African-American punter, and a guy who came through FAMU to Minnesota, 12 years. Inspirational cat. We've had him on before, and he's going to be recognized. And look, there's so many great stories, as we said. The others that are going in, Vince Carter, ever heard of him?
Yeah.
That guy came right out of Daytona Beach.
Half man, half amazing.
Yeah, he was. He was something. And you can go back, Matt, you can think of a story where that was a time when Vince Carter was looking beyond the boundary of the state to go be a star in college basketball because stars were not being made in this state on the basketball court. They were on the football field.
Let's put it this way. You always bring up Frank Gore, and but for Frank Gore, what would this franchise be?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. But for Vince Carter, Florida would have never gotten Billy Donovan. Never.
Yeah, it is true.
Because they went to the Final Four under Kruger.
Yeah.
He recruited Vince Carter. Vince Carter said, "No, I'm going to North Carolina." And once that happened, he knew he was never going to make it there.
Yeah.
So he got out the next year. Jeremy Foley hired Billy Donovan. That's the greatest coach ever in Florida athletics.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. If you are looking at it, it's like we always talk about. Like remember Steve Spurrier wanted to come back to the University of Florida. If he'd come back, they wouldn't have gotten Tim Tebow. All that stuff.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
Yeah.
But it's true that. And you can go back to Chris Corciani, remember him?
Oh, yeah.
It was another great player that was coming out that was heavily recruited and I want to say, I can't remember the exact time frame, but bottom line is Lon Kruger could not attract those superstars to either stay in state, come in the state, or whatever it might be. And, that led to him just getting frustrated because they didn't fill up the stands back then. In the mid-'90s, he took a team to the Final Four when it was just – that's something you didn't even think possible, and he was able to do it.
By the way, TC also going in this evening into the Florida Sports
Oh, yeah, I
Hall
said
of
the
Fame.
headmaster.
That's
yeah.
why there
yeah.
is a Jaguar connection in case we buried the lead there.
Yeah,
So it's not like there hasn't been a precedent set
No,
that
because
you can have some Jag connections.
it's like Leon said, if it weren't for TC, we ain't Duval.
Exactly. That
Yeah.
part.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, so he deserves it, and the storyline coming out of this is that he's in this town through and through, and yeah, he went off and became the New York Football Giants head coach, and he took a team to a couple of big time places, winning rings, beating the New England Patriots in upsetting an unbeaten season. He did some great things up in New York as the Giants head coach, but I like the fact that he identifies as a Jaguar.
Yeah, the most impressive thing about TC outside of being an outstanding coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars is the impact that not only he had on the field but off the field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his Jace Fund is still flourishing here in Jackson. It still helps a lot of kids who are dealing with cancer and hospital patients, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, outside of football, yeah, the man is well established in the football. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He planted the flag here in Jacksonville. But as far as community-wise, I mean, he's still impactful here in the community of Jacksonville with the J Fund, all this charitable thing that he does. So, I mean, it was a no-brainer to put TC in, absolutely.
Great plug, Leon, because 3 weeks from today, we will be celebrating the 16th annual J Fund Radiothon right here at 1010XL. So mark your calendars, November 29th. A lot of stuff is going to be coming your way to alert you on social media of all the fun stuff we're going to be doing surrounding that event. And so, yeah, it's crazy to think 16 years. Obviously, that's as long as 1010's been in existence. And so we appreciate TC, all of his efforts. And we also appreciate Leroy Butler and the rest of the crew being inducted tonight. And hopefully having Leroy on to talk a little Florida State Miami.
Yeah, we'll definitely get him to do that. And we were having fun yesterday talking about the Miami side of things. And Crazy Calvin, as I nicknamed him yesterday, one of your old teammates, firmly believes that Miami's got a chance maybe to upset the apple cart up there in Tally. And we definitely wanted to get into it. So we're going to come from both sides. And Leroy will give us, I'm sure, great stories. Dexter Carter tomorrow, as we'll talk a little bit more about this rivalry. Because it is, honestly, if we go back and we just talk, as we set up this show, Florida Sports Hall of Fame with all the great memories we have in college football, a lot of them were tied to that game. Quote, games of the century, your U against FSU.
Yeah, I'm glad you're having Dexter Carter come on tomorrow because I remember the game at '89. He got a personal foul from Bernard Clark, right? So Bernard Clark took off his helmet and went to the sideline, and Dexter Carter picked up the penalty flag and put it on top of his head. I was running on the field when he did that, and I shoved him and got a penalty for what he did.
You're going to have to ask.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to ask. He remembers. Absolutely, he remembers it. Because I remember it. Hell.
Oh, yeah. All right. So think of some of the great ones in the Florida Sports Hall of Fame. It is a big deal. Should be a big deal. A couple of weeks ago, we celebrated the Florida-Georgia Game Hall of Fame, and I like the fact that we're having it here in our city. All right, Wednesday's brought to you by the Golf Club of Southampton. Great things going on. Tomorrow night, they've got trivia. You got Brooke and Jason setting you up Friday night on the patio. You can enjoy music, new menu every single Friday night, and they always make sure that they give you an experience beyond the game of golf. But don't forget, you can enjoy that for sure. We were out there on Monday and had a great time. Greens are rolling beautifully right now. Call 287-PLAY and get on the tee sheet. All right, so let's get to the Jags. This is a big football game. Two teams coming off the bye week. We have set it up every single day all right, you ready? Who has the longest win streak in the National Football League right now? It's right here in Duval, okay? 5-game win streak. Nobody has a longer win streak. The other team started with 5 straight wins and now has suffered 3 straight L's. 3.5-point line right now. And then the injury report, Mia, after practice today is going to be key, finding out who's doing what.
Yep. Doug Peterson met with reporters this morning. He was actually asked if this could be a statement game, a barometer game, if you may, for his club. And he said they're all big, so he kind of deflected on that one a little bit. But he also did provide some updates with regards to some of those players that have been a bit banged up. He noted how important the bye was. The biggest of those names, of course, is Zay Jones, who Doug Peterson said will practice off to the side at practice today, working on individual drills. Officially called him limited. I guess not officially, but he said, on the record that he will be limited this week. Didn't sound too optimistic about him. Did sound very optimistic about Walker Little, although I'll read the quote for you, and we'll play it once we get it a little bit later in the show. When asked about what Walker Little can do at left guard, good player, bigger body in there, and we'll see. there's not a lot of even better. JJ has it. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
Walker, obviously, good player, bigger body, in there, and we'll see. I mean, there's not a lot of film with him in there, so it's just hard to say. But Tyler's done a nice job in there, and now Walker gets his opportunity to go back in there and play, and hopefully it generates a little movement up front, and that's what you hope for. But we'll see. There's just not enough out there.
Which is in contrast to Monday when asked about Ezra Cleveland and the acquisition, and Doug Peterson was adamant that Walker Little is our left guard.
What do you think?
I don't feel good with We'll See. I really don't.
I heard that We'll See,
I feel
too.
uncomfortable with We'll See.
He is right. He's changed a lot in the last day.
I don't.
2
That
days.
We'll See just bothers me a little bit. I'm going to tell you the reason why it bothers me.
Okay.
Because, first and foremost, I mean, Shatley is seasoned meat. All right? He's seasoned meat. He's well seasoned. All right? He's Walker
just made
Little.
me hungry, so go ahead.
Walker Little is refrigerated. You got to take him out, throw him out, run some hot water on him, tenderize him, all that kind of stuff. You got somebody. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, Shatley he's struggled in some particular areas. Well, you're talking about a guy who, if you're on average, Shatley is 480 plays into the season. 480. If it's like 60 plays a game.
Yeah.
All right. 480. Walker Little has 11. When you say We'll See, I don't like that. I didn't feel good with We'll See.
Well, I'll tell you my interpretation of what I heard. And again, I looked at you and I was looking at your expression, and I hear that they do want to get more interiorly against the fronts that
more
they're going
girth,
to face. In
more
other words,
size. I understand that. Absolutely.
I
understand
I would say more girth, more size, and I would also say accomplish more. In other words, he feels like right now, even though Etienne's having a damn good year, they're not knocking people off the ball the way he would like.
Yeah, I got you.
When it comes down to those third down conversion rates, just take a look at that. It's a low number, and I think he wants to be better there.
And that was the question: how can he help in the run game?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
If you would like to play that next soundbite that followed after that, JJ, Doug Peterson did address that short yardage is something that they picked up on clearly during the bye week and is something that needs to be studied and figured out.
Guys are going to get beat from time to time. It's football. They got great players. We got great players. Maybe the ball carrier doesn't hit the exact hole where we expect it to be, or maybe it's just a little off tackle or a little inside the guard, and we make that, or an incomplete pass or something like that. It's just sometimes you get beat, and those are critical situations though that we understand for us to stay on the field, and not go 3 and out. We've got to be better, and we have to execute better. Even on 4th down, we got to execute better. We got to call better plays in those situations. That's on coaches, right? Put our players in better situations, and so everybody has a hand in it, and it's an area that we definitely focus on.
Yeah, and honestly, when you're talking about what they need to do going forward, and like we said, that I believe defensively they're going to see their biggest challenge this week. If everybody is healthy, you would expect that San Francisco brings as much firepower as anybody. Coach Campo and I did our Campo and Joe podcast yesterday. You guys can find it on our social channels. But, we're talking about weaponry, all right? And we're talking about not only Christian McCaffrey, but who else can carry the load, carry the football for them, and then throw in the weapons in the receiving game, and then what Brock Purdy's been able to do. You don't know how healthy Brock Purdy's going to be able to do. But I get the feeling, Matt, that this football team is not going to be – it could be a score-for-score situation where if this team gives up something, this team's going to have to answer.
If it's a score-for-score situation, then you're not stopping the run.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what they have to do to win that game.
And it's typically what they do.
Yeah, it's another thing, too. I want to circle back real quick to Shatley. And I love you, bro. You know that. You must be out of your mind if you think that Walker Little shouldn't be on the field.
I didn't say he shouldn't be on the field.
I don't want him at guard. Okay?
I was just concerned when you said we'll see.
Right. I don't want him at guard. I think he should be playing left tackle.
Yeah,
I think he's a
absolutely.
better left tackle than Cam. But that's clearly not what they think, all right? But if you're going to say, okay, we got to get him on the field, then you hold your nose and you hope for the best because, man, that could easily happen again. Easily.
Yeah, if they don't pick him up and put him down, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Interiorly there, that's where all the stuff happens.
Not 11 plays in.
11 plays in, bro. I'm just saying.
Well,
I mean, that's
the the one thing you got to consider is that he is a physical, big human being.
He's a big dude, and he's long. I understand all of that.
And it's interesting because the Ezra Cleveland size, basically the same as Walker.
True.
Okay, and so he is a guy who has succeeded inside.
Yeah,
He may have designs.
But Leon, here's what I'd say.
He's played. Ezra Cleveland's played inside.
Aren't there nuances to play in the middle three where you can do subtle things to kind of like avoid a big, potentially dangerous collision, right?
No.
You can't?
No.
So it's coming at you no matter what.
Until no, it's coming.
So there's no little nuances you can do to protect yourself.
But you can't go into the game thinking like that, bro.
I know that, but I mean, if you're out there, if you're Walker Little, he doesn't. These again, you're 11 plays into this. You at the NFL level.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like, all right, I've seen this before, and a couple games ago, I know I can do this, right? It's just. So it's just coming at you, basically.
Yeah, it's coming at you. I mean, he got to get low. Ben, he's got.
That's your future left tackle, and it's coming at you.
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, Walker Little 6'7", 335. All right, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
That's a big guard. That's a hell of a. That's a big guard. At 6'7", 335.
Whereas Ezra, I think, is 6'6", 315, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, but if he can use his athleticism and his physicality, he got to get low. He got to get low. He got to bend those knees. He got to move those hips. He's got. I mean, if he can springboard off the ball. At the guard position, man, I mean, him and Cam together could be terrorizing. It could be terrorizing. It could be. But I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Neither has Doug Peterson.
Yeah, exactly. That's what scares me.
Yeah, I know.
We'll see.
I understand, and I know we know what Mia said yesterday. How Walker is a team player. He wants to help, but my God, even if you're the GM there, don't you say, all right? He got hurt in the first 11 plays. We're going to throw him back into that meat grinder.
Well, I don't know if
with the idea of he's our left tackle of the future.
Coach Campos said it right after the injury. He said there's part of him that cares about Walker the person, Walker the future of him, and he as a radio personality now in retirement would not put him back out there. But as a coach, if he gives you the best chance to win when healthy, you have no choice.
Plus, bro, you don't understand the pressure that is going to be allotted on Walker Little in that locker room,
that's
bro.
A good point.
He's coming off an injury. He got to play.
That's a good point.
As much as you say I'm a left tackle and that's where I played all my life or whatever.
Can't do that.
You can't do that in the locker room. You can't tell the guys in the locker room, man, I'm not playing left guard because I'm a left tackle. That's not going to happen.
If he had
the guilt and the scrutiny that is propelling through that locker room. I'm not saying this happening. But if you tell the guys, hey, listen, I'm not going back there left guard because I got hurt, they're going to be looking at you like, what, bro?
Like, take Orlando Brown as an example. He went right tackle, left tackle, but he basically said, okay, I've got a number of starts. I've proven something. Yeah. Okay. And that's
he had leverage. I mean,
exactly.
he was an all-pro.
Yeah.
So they say, okay, you all-pro at left tackle, but Stanley's going to come back. We're going to move you back to right tackle. He said, no. Right tackles don't make the same money.
Right.
He said, either play me at left tackle or trade me.
Right. And his body of work was bigger.
Exactly.
And I do think, you're not – this guy that we're talking about, he may represent the future, but he also doesn't have a history, past. He doesn't have a long history or past.
They're not concerned about the future. They want to win now.
You're right.
You better believe
That's
it.
really what it is.
They want to win now.
It's what's more important now.
What's more important now,
right.
or we moving on from Cam at the end of the season and you playing a left tackle. No, we're trying to beat the Niners right now. We're in a playoff hunt. We're trying to get the 1 seed. We're trying to make the road to the Super Bowl come through Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And we're 1 game behind the Chiefs.
Right. You better believe it,
Exactly.
man. A lot is on the line. That's for sure. You know what else is on the line? Where they are in our top 5, okay? Because we've got our XLP power rankings as we will unveil the top 5 in the NFL, top 5 in the college game. That gets us to 10. We need to spend a little less than 10 minutes as far as the Michigan Wolverines is concerned, but apparently
another little twist.
It's coming down the pike today that they now need to respond. They have been given a timeline.
No, that's not the twist.
No, the twist is Ryan Day and Greg Schiano.
That's the twist.
All right, so let's just set this up real quick, and then we'll head into the second half of this first hour and start unveiling our rankings. But this is classic. Okay, anyone who's been following the story knows that Michigan is being accused, or at least a coach on that staff, which is now stepped away in the Stallion, Connor Stallions, that was out there purchasing tickets, sitting in stands, videotaping.
Scouting future opponents.
Yeah, scouting future opponents with video equipment. At least that's the allegation.
His phone.
And then also on the sidelines, at least it's asserted that he might have been on the sidelines with Central
Sharknado
Michigan.
sideline, which is, another story for another
exactly.
time.
So you got that, right? Well, Greg Schiano and Ryan Day are two guys that have been tied to this, directly tied to this because of the comments that they made, and they've zeroed in on those are the two guys that may be pointing the finger at Michigan for stealing signs. Lo and behold, 2022, at least with that, this is Adam Rittenberg reporting this, right,
Dan
Matt?
Wetzel is. Dan Wetzel, was reporting that.
He's the first one to report it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wetzel's the first one to report it. So in the 2022 Big Ten championship game, Rutgers gave Purdue, which was the West Division champion playing Michigan, gave Purdue all of Michigan's defensive signals. And Ohio State gave Purdue all of Michigan's offensive schedules.
Signals.
That's
Yeah.
signals. That's future scouting is what that
Well,
is.
it's helping someone beat your rival. At least that's what you hope.
It's the
is going to
exact
happen.
same thing they're accusing Michigan of doing.
Well, all right. Now I want to set this up because this is where we need to get into: is it okay if you dispatch somebody to go do it, or is it even slimier if you're so desperate to deliver an L to your rival that you're going to
Which
put
is
your
exactly
arm
what
around?
it is.
You're going to put your arm around some other conference member and say, "Hey,
Schiano
let me help."
was a DC at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Before he went back to Rutgers.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into that coming up. Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. We hope to say hello to Leroy Butler, one of the inductees in the 2023 Florida Sports Hall of Fame. We will have that in the 1 o'clock hour. We got plenty more coming your way on XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealers Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. 1010XL brings you the orange and blue.
He's in! Touchdown Gators!
Who has the bigger bite?
Chop!
It's a duel in Death Valley, Florida, LSU. Kickoff at 7:30 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010XL.
In case you haven't noticed, the holidays are a-coming. So why not make the trip to Grandma's house in style and comfort with a little help from my friends at Arlington Toyota. Mia here in Arlington has over 575 new Toyotas available. And you want to come check out their new 2024 models. They're amazing. Then there's Arlington's warranty. Your new Toyota purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty. That's unlimited time and miles. And did I mention, Arlington even has all makes and models of used inventory. I'm talking over 400 on the lot. Cars, trucks, SUVs, imports, domestics, you name it, Arlington has it. You even get Arlington's 30-day exchange program with your pre-owned purchase. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Why wait? You can start shopping for your new Toyota right now, online, 24/7 at arlingtontoyota.com, or swing by in person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard. New or used, your ride to Grandma's this holiday will be epic. Go get yours at Arlington today.
Lauren Brooks here. Tired of joint pain holding you back? Try BioTarget from Injury Care Centers. This treatment will prolong the life of your joints by targeting the root of your pain and delivering more regenerative cells to the affected area, ensuring faster and more effective healing, making BioTarget the most advanced regenerative treatment. For a limited time, BioTarget starts as low as $499. Call Injury Care Centers or visit GoBioTarget.com. That's GoBioTarget.com.
November is Men's Health Awareness Month, and Ackerman Urology is here for all your prostate and urological needs. Don't delay in getting screened. Call their new Beaches office on Atlantic Boulevard and see an expert today. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
At Ratify Credit Union, we know that a dream home is about more than location and square footage. It's about fulfilling the dream of homeownership and all the dreaming that takes place inside. Building a nursery, starting a business, throwing a graduation party. That's why at Ratify, we're more than just home lenders. We're the fulfiller of dreams. With home and home equity loans that prove dream homes do come true. Ratify Credit Union. Make waves. Ratify Credit Union is an equal housing lender insured by NCUA.
The Big G stands for Georgia.
Keep up with the latest Bulldog news and notes. Listen for the Bulldog Report.
Brought to you by Travis Cummings and the Bailey Group. On 1010XL.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner with honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 877-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and wow, is Awaken 180 a game changer. I dropped 7 pounds my first 3 days alone. My body has shifted to a gear I didn't know it had. All I do is listen to my coach and eat. Join me in making a 180 at awaken180weightloss.com.
When the sun goes down, you might think a golf course shuts down, but not at the Golf Club of Southampton. Join the gang every Thursday night for trivia with Brooke and Jason, and everybody's favorite night, Friday night on the patio, featuring local musicians, food, and drink. It's all at the Golf Club of Southampton. Great golf. You've come to expect that. But don't forget, when night falls, the fun doesn't stop. Trivia every Thursday night and Southampton's live music patio session Fridays. Call 287-PLAY to make a tee time and the good time.
This is Hayes Carline for Island Wing Company, located on South Side near Tinseltown, and our new location at Bartram Park in St. Johns County. 2 great locations offering the ultimate sports bar experience where you can stick to healthy options. Island Wing Company has a wide selection of fryer-free food. The wings are baked, not fried, with so many awesome flavors to choose from. You can also get delicious salmon, tuna, flatbreads, and tacos. With tons of spectacular TVs, dog-friendly patios, and 2 daily happy hours, Island Wings can't be beat.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous, don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. If I know anything about the fall, it's hunting season, it's cooler weather. People need to get off-road. What have you got to offer?
We've got the full line of Honda ATVs, the Foreman, the Rancher. We've got the side-by-sides, the Pioneers, the Talons, everything you need to get off-road.
And you can trick them out with all sorts of extras?
If you name it, you want the loud stereo, you want the cool light bar, we got it.
All right, look online, cyclesofjacksonville.com, or head to the showroom on Atlantic near Regency.
Arthritis is the most common cause of joint pain in America and affects more than 50 million adults. Dr. George Barry here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. For reliable diagnosis and comprehensive treatment options, come see me and the specialists at Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. With more than 35 years of experience in orthopedics, our team delivers compassionate and dedicated care to relieve your pain. Set up a visit today by scheduling online or calling the office. Log on to barryorthopedics.com with locations across Jacksonville.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars will face the NFL's leading rusher on Sunday in 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey. Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson on the challenge of facing CMC.
You can put him anywhere in the formation. Backfield, split out wide, motion him, jet sweep. You put him anywhere. He's just that type of player. Hand him the ball, throw him the ball, screens, down the field. Just an overall solid player, and you have to account for him. And then, it's hard to get him on the ground. He can break tackles. He's strong. Physical back that does some really good things.
Doug Peterson on Christian McCaffrey. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose on 1010XL.
You heard from Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson there in the update with Gibby. Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence currently meeting with reporters at the Miller Electric Center as we come at you live from 1010XL World Headquarters. Mia O'Brien, Josie, Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, and JJ LaSelva with you until 3 p.m. Before we kick it over to our top fives in the National Football League and college football, do want to run through some notes and news from around the National Football League. Oh, and also we are going to circle back to that Michigan sign-stealing scandal, because we just got a great anecdote from one of our friends on Twitter, and I definitely want to share that. First and foremost, though, Brian Daboll in New York has announced that the Giants will start Tommy DeVito at quarterback on Sunday. They did sign Matt Barkley to their active roster. He will be the backup. Tommy DeVito will become the 10th rookie quarterback to start this season in the NFL. We are 10 weeks into the season, for those of you that are keeping score.
It's nuts. And when you think about the number of guys that, honestly, if you said, okay, give me something about, X number of X player, there's a lot of unknown from these guys. They're kind of coming out of nowhere. The agent, Bajent, is a guy that I had no idea would need to know about him. But here Justin Fields is now facing the question of whether or not he's going to be back in the lineup this week. He's got practice today, didn't practice yesterday. It's crazy, the injuries to these quarterbacks.
I don't know a ton about DeVito, but I know he was responsible for the death of Billy Batts.
Yeah.
And that's a shame.
And that's going to go over probably.
He was a good man.
That's going to go over about 45% of our listeners.
He also
sad.
thought he was going to get made, and then walked in the room, and that was it.
That was all. Good night.
That was that to Mr. DeVito.
Staying in Tommy DeVito's backyard, Billy Turner, who we put through the ringer yesterday on the program as we discussed the Jets' offensive line. Reportedly, Leon suffered a broken bone in his hand. His status is up in the air for this week. Robert Saleh describing the injury to the Jets' offensive lineman as concerning. For me, he still allowed 9 pressures and 3 sacks at the hands of the
He broke
Chargers.
his hand. He don't use his hands. How the hell he break
There
it?
it is. There it is. And there it
Goodness
is.
gracious.
Like, how?
What a travesty.
All right, back to Michigan. Thank you to our friends on Twitter that sent us this one. It's courtesy of Coach_Radcliffe, who's actually the linebacker in D.C. for the Bowling Green Bobcats. Is that legit? I'm curious if that's actually his Twitter handle. For those confused on the difference on Ohio State, Rutgers, Purdue, and what they did to Michigan versus what Michigan did, think of it like this. Ohio State and Rutgers talked about the math test that they took in the first period and told Purdue about it, who was going to take the test in the third period. Michigan, in contrast, broke in the teacher's desk and stole the answer key.
Only there's a big
What's
problem
worse?
with that. Who, by the way, he's not the coach of Bowling. Bowling Green is the Falcons, so it must be like
Sad.
a high school team.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
So there's a big problem with that. Purdue had the answers to Michigan's test. Okay, so you can say all you want that it's not the same thing. It's 100% the same thing. They had the answers to Michigan's test because the team that played them prior gave them the answers.
what was the final score of that game?
That's future scouting.
Yeah. What was the final score
They
of
got
that
crushed, which is the whole
They
point.
got
The whole
crushed.
thing. The whole thing is ridiculous. The whole sign stealing thing, which these coaches want. That's why they say no. We don't want the helmet communication. Has nothing to do with safety. Which, by the way, that's the new thing now. It's a safety issue.
That's
It's weird
comical.
because it's not a safety issue in the NFL.
It really is comical.
They don't want the communication in the helmet because they want to steal signs. That's what it's all about. It's part of the whole
I just
fabric
love
of
the,
college football.
I do love the piracy of college football and how it's so funny because now that there's at least a story out there that a couple of other coaches helped or tried to
They gave them their signals.
Okay.
Is
I
that
get it.
against the rules?
I
I feel like that
No,
probably
and neither was
happens
what
a
Michigan
lot.
is.
You know what
Look,
it's against?
It's against the spirit of the rules.
Yeah, the sportsmanship.
What Michigan
clause
did
that
is
they had.
what Michigan did is in the NCAA rulebook you can't future scout. Okay, so that's against the rules. This is the same thing. There's nothing different.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to debate you as to whether it's different or not, but I do love the line, hey, now we have proof someone else is doing this, so get off my back, as if that is still okay. It still
happens
excuses
everywhere.
Well, coaches share information constantly. You
All the
can't
time.
tell me that that's
Yeah.
cheating
Yeah.
or different than a guy on the
slimy.
sideline wearing someone else's gear or in a different team's
slimy.
location
You're
watching it.
right,
I mean,
I understand what you're saying.
It is
I understand.
sort of similar, but it.
I
at the
totally
same
understand what
time,
you're saying,
no.
but the reality is this: if we're using this answers to the test, and that's a good analogy. You're still giving Michigan answers to the test. Or Purdue answers to Michigan's test.
Well,
Purdue has the answers to the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
before the game.
Still get smashed.
A week before the game, they get the answers to the test, and they still lose by
I'm not
20.
going to go that far.
They
and say,
get their money back.
Yeah, because they didn't win the game. They got their ass kicked. Okay, so I'm
Yes.
not even going to go say that they had the answers to the test because they should have aced it if they had
Yeah,
answers
but believe
to
me,
the
there are
test.
people that have answers to the test and still
don't matter. That's the beautiful
doesn't
thing
matter.
about it.
Yeah, because it's still talent on talent.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can know what I'm doing. And you're a great guy to ask this. The classic story is Pittsburgh would tell you basically what they're going to do, and they had a handful of plays, and they would just keep running them. Nobody had a difficult time figuring out what Pittsburgh was doing. They just had a difficult time stopping it.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, the first thing that happened when I came into Jacksonville about a month outside, the first game of the season was against the Pittsburgh Steelers here in Jacksonville. Where do you think the defensive what do you think they asked me? The first thing they asked me,
Leon.
Hey, Leon, do you got any pickup on their signals, their calls, and everything like that? I said, it's not going to matter. I said, you still got to play the game. I can give you every signal they call, every little blitz scheme or whatever. You still got to block them.
Yep.
That's
Here's another thing, too. The guy on the text line said it's different because Michigan recorded it. What
it's
do you think, like Ohio State and Rutgers said when he waves his hands this way? They gave him tape and said, this is this, this is this, this is this.
We don't know, but
Joe,
it's so funny
you're not
that-
going to say when he waves his hands over this area, covers his eye, it's this. You're not doing that.
I mean,
you're showing them this is what it is. This is what they run when it's this.
I do love that we are using a defense for someone with guilt of another one.
I don't think it's a defense. I think it's honestly, Joe. I don't think it's a defense. I think it's more the reality of, are you out of your mind? This is what you're going after right now. Everybody does
if
it.
it's like if you're going to bring us down, we'll bring everybody down with us.
That is what it is. That's what's happening right now.
Which I respect.
Yeah, so Nino Brown of them.
I mean, this is an all-out mafia war. Okay, it's the boroughs against
It's, you know what
Vegas
it goes down
and
to?
Chi-Town.
Seriously, you know what it literally boils down to? Ohio State versus Michigan. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. And Ryan Day, it's like I said, and you could come up with a couple of different angles of this. Ryan Day basically got ticked off and said, okay, I'm going to come with proof after Michigan started beating them.
After got his
And
ass
then-
kicked 2 years in a row.
And then
right.
the other half of it is that Michigan couldn't beat them until they figured out a way to beat them, which means that's when they started winning, when they went out there and probably said, we got to do some sign stealing. You can come at this thing from both sides all day long. At the end, wouldn't you like the idea of it's us against you? Matt, when you think about just the beauty, we always talk about the beauty and the I don't know whether I should use the word innocence, but just the amateurism of college sports, that we like the idea of Leon's team going up against the Florida State Seminoles. It's mano a mano. It's good on good. You guys versus my guys, and let's see who wins. I mean, isn't there something that we should be a little pissed off at, that they're allowing these things and just kind of turning a blind eye to it because they say everybody does it?
Wouldn't you say, though,
I
college
know, but it's
football is
not
like
really-
the most cheated sport besides maybe baseball?
I think if you
NASCAR's
look around, they cheat.
NASCAR, yeah.
They cheat everywhere.
Exactly. So, in the innocence of college football, to me, it's like cheating's always been a part of college football. That's part of what I love about it.
I understand
it's
your
been
argument.
around since the Gladiators. I think they told the Lions what was up.
I get it. I understand your argument
Yeah.
that they're trying to pull other people down. It's like Hacker trying to pull Miami into the Florida argument when he knows.
Yeah,
Lakers.
I'm not doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
I get your argument. And I respect it. I'm just saying, this stuff happens everywhere on every sideline. The only reason this is going on is because it's an Ohio State Michigan thing, and because the NCAA wants Jimmy.
Well,
that's why.
They might want Jim, but I still come back to the very simple fact that
You embarrassed them.
baseball got embarrassed by what Houston and what Cora up in Boston were doing.
Yes, and
okay?
the NCAA got embarrassed when they wanted to suspend Harbaugh for 6 games, and Michigan said no, and Harbaugh said no, and Michigan said we'll suspend him for 3 games there. And the NCAA's thinking, well, we're the one who runs the show here, not you.
Yeah, but I'm going to ask dumb questions because I really don't know the answers to them. But the NCAA's been embarrassed about 1,000 million different ways. So you would think if they were the ones behind
because
this,
they're holding on to that power like grim death, baby.
right?
They
but
know
if
they're
you
getting
think-
ready to
if you
lose
would-
everything.
If you thought they were the ones behind this, then they'd be bringing some.
And when I say
doom
them, I
to
mean
a lot of college cities.
I mean all 350 plus NCAA institutions.
Yeah.
They all want to glom on to the Power 5 still because that's where the money is. Once they lose that, like once the Power 5 fully disengages and has its own organization that deals with recruiting violations and all that.
Right.
It's enforcement arm. Once the Power 5 moves away and has its own enforcement arm, the NCAA is dead. They're dead.
Leon,
and they know that.
Can you remember?
Dead as far as getting money, media rights.
Right,
is what I'm saying.
right. Can you remember a time when they said, "Hey, we know what they're doing, what their call signs are"? Like when you were in either a college game or.
No, I can't. I can't remember that. If they did, and I'm sure it went on when I was playing as well. I'm sure that any advantage that a coaching staff or a team can take,
yes,
yeah, they take it.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's about Jimmy's and Joe's though. You can still know what I'm doing, what play I'm calling. We're still going to execute it. It still comes down to execution, and you can have all. Listen, I'm pretty sure the teams that we played against in Miami knew our certain calls or whatever, stuff like that. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
We didn't care.
One more off the text line before we get it to our college football power rankings and see if Michigan, with all the scandal about, still ranks among our individual top fives. This is courtesy of 371 out in Kansas. Huh. All right. We don't usually hear from out
The
there.
Flatlands,
but
the
Dorothy,
prairie.
how we doing? Sign stealing in baseball. It's allowed, but the Astros went too far. That compares to Michigan. Everyone in football is doing it, but they went too far.
I do think that's the line I keep using. It's honor among thieves. And if you push it past a certain point, they're like, okay, it's over. Same thing with the mafia. You know, the Russians and I mean, only so many things are going to be allowed before you have to counter it. All right, so with that as a backdrop, I've decided, let's just get to our power rankings in the college football world. If we could fire up music, JJ, and get us started.
I'm interested to see where the College Football Playoff Committee of XL Primetime has the Michigan Wolverines. Will they keep them off their ballots? We'll see. All right, so let's start with Mia. She had Washington 5 last week, Ohio State 4, Michigan 3, Florida State 2, and Georgia was her number 1 team.
We're in need of a shakeup, so we're shaking things up. On the heels of Greg McElroy's compelling monologue on ESPN last night, I have the University of Texas at number 5, despite the fact that I think if K-State hadn't had a kicker who couldn't kick and some blunders on that fourth down, they very well could have knocked the
Wait, what was
Longhorns
McElroy's compelling argument? What did he say?
That he believes that a one-loss Texas has a stronger case for the playoff than a one-loss Oregon.
Okay, I agree with that, by the way.
At number 4, I have Washington, who very well could lose.
Oh, yeah, I do.
We could talk about that here in a second. At number 4,
Texas, best win in the nation.
and that's part of the argument. At number 4, I have Washington. Big win over USC, despite USC maybe not being who everyone thought they would be. And obviously at this juncture, Michael Penix Jr. remains the Heisman frontrunner, despite, again, Utah very much could beat them this weekend. At number 3, I have those cheating Michigan Wolverines. They continue to just demolish everybody, and until proven otherwise, they're staying in the top 3. At number 2, Georgia slips a spot this week. I think Mizzou's a good outfit, but I needed to see Georgia do what they did to Florida, to Missouri, to tell me they were continuing that trajectory of hitting their stride. Again, Missouri's a good outfit, but I would like to have seen a little bit more. Don't get upset, Dog fans. I still think you're 1A. 1B to Florida State's 1A. I bumped the Florida State Seminoles up again, despite playing with their food early on in Pittsburgh. Jordan Travis was able to do what he did, despite not having his top 4 wide receivers. When they get those guys back, you will see this offense operating at peak efficiency.
All right, last week Joe had his Oregon Ducks, which I think we'll be talking about soon. Number 5 for Georgia, Michigan, which he has vacated. So he has them in there, but he knows it'll be taken away soon.
You vacated them?
Ohio State number 2 and Florida State number 1.
I vacated their spot in my XLP Power 5 the last couple of weeks, and you know what I did this week? I kicked them right out of the room.
Whoa!
Okay? Until I hear from Harbaugh at whatever time this afternoon, he is not part of my top 5, man. I am a Bo believer. I am the man behind Dan Lanning. So I've got Oregon still among my top 5, and I have moved the Alabama Crimson Tide into my top 5 on the strength of what was a very impressive win over the LSU Tigers. Hey, Dallas Turner, quit knocking quarterbacks out. It might have been a game late, but Alabama is turning, oh my gosh, a major corner with Jalen Milroe. Georgia, they are definitely among my top 5, coming in 3rd. Ohio State, who has now had impressive wins on the road. If you count up all the ones they had, the reason why I'm keeping them up there is because it was an 18.5-point line, and they beat my mighty Rutgers and Greg Schiano by 19 points. And then I have FSU as my number 1 team in the land.
Yeah, I took Ohio State out, by the way, because you can't be hanging around with Rutgers. Although you are giving them signs, so maybe you are hanging out with them.
Yeah, they won by 19.
Yeah, maybe that was sort of like a deal. Hey, since we're working together on this, I won't completely embarrass you, so I'll let you go into halftime with the lead. All right, Matt, number 5, this is last week. Washington, Michigan 4, Ohio State 3, Georgia 2, and the Florida State Seminoles number 1.
Okay. I got Texas in at 5.
Love it.
Texas, you cannot ignore the win over Alabama, number 1. Number 2, the Big 12 is a pretty good conference. Okay? The Big 12 is as good as the Pac-12. And I know everybody's all fascinated with the Pac-12. You got to dig down deep and watch those Pac-12 teams. They're not that good.
Just like the Big 12.
Yeah, not that good.
Just like the Big 12.
Yeah. So I like Texas. They got a better win. They have a better loss because I don't know if anybody watched USC and Washington. Washington, woof.
Well,
and I'm not talking about Husky woof. I'm talking woof.
The 2 games before that. But they scored 52 points. What do you want from them?
I know, but that defense, they're out of my top 5, actually. That game kind of convinced me that I think they might even lose to Utah this week.
I'm not picking anybody to lose to Utah anymore.
They've got some issues, okay? Number 4, I've got Ohio State, and man, Kyle McCord is just. Imagine if Ohio State had C.J. Stroud for one more year, what Marvin Harrison would be doing right now.
Oh yeah,
Marvin Harrison almost has 1,000 yards receiving and 10
Superstar.
touchdowns, and they literally don't have any kind of rhythm on offense right now with Kyle McCord. It's amazing how good Marvin Harrison is. He should be in New York City for that as a Heisman finalist. I got Michigan at 3, and the only reason I have them at 3 and not higher is because they haven't played anybody. So if they go into Happy Valley and they win convincingly double digits, they're going to go all the way up to 1 because they are the most complete team. I think you can see that they're the most complete team. But we haven't seen it on the field against a legit team, and this is a legit Penn State team on the road. So this is going to be a fantastic test for them. And this is also could open a lot of eyes for people because if Michigan goes in there and Jimbo gets them so wound up, he's like, everybody thinks, you guys are cheating, and that's how you've gotten so good the last 2 years. Why don't you go show them what they're like?
4.5 point line. Worth paying attention to.
Okay. I got Georgia at 2. Dogs are feeling it. Here's the thing with the Dogs. I was on Conor O'Gara's podcast, the SEC podcast, this morning. Should be dropping here shortly, actually. This is what I've come to realize with Georgia. They have an answer for everything. Their tight end gets hurt, Oscar Delp goes in. Oscar Delp makes big catches. Their All-American middle linebacker goes in, another answer.
Yeah.
It's called one after the other after the other. They have dudes, number 1, but they also have dudes who are ready to play.
That's called recruit, develop, and coach.
Yes, they have guys ready to play. There's never a point in a game where they're like, oh, my God, what are we going to do? There's also never a point in a game where there's a fire drill of a field goal team running on the field and the quarterback coming off screaming, what are you doing? There's also none of that.
But you have them at 2.
At Georgia. None of that at Georgia, by the way.
You have Georgia at 2, though.
Yeah. None of that, Joe.
Yeah. But you got FSU.
There's not a game changer at Georgia either.
As my
game
brother
changer coach.
witnessed in the stands, he said, that's a game changer, all right. It became a game loser after that because it was a game winner before.
But
you know what else there isn't? There's not a lot of, freaking motion and misdirection. It's
all right,
we're lining up and we are running a play. Stop us.
You've gone into the Billy bashing mode.
Have.
Get to number 1.
Number 1 is FSU again. I got the Noles. I think the Noles are literally. You were talking about playing with their food. I think the Noles are literally playing with their food every week. This will be a good test for them, just because it's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
But we're not going to see the true Noles again, where they turn it up until the playoff.
All right. Leon last week had Washington 5, Michigan 4, Ohio State 3, Florida State number 2, and Georgia number 1.
Well, not much has changed. I still got Washington at 5, Michigan 4, Ohio State 3. I got the Bulldogs 2, and I put Florida State number 1 for a purpose.
Oh, so you can
Heavy
pick them
is
off?
the head. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I love the fact that Florida State's atop of the mountain. I really do. I do. I love it. And all the anxiety that I've been getting from Florida State fans beating their chest, sucking in all that air because they're possibly playoff bound. I don't know what's going to happen Saturday, November the 11th. But when it happens,
I have a guess.
I want to be there.
You are.
I want to be there.
Yeah.
When they fall.
You do not like them at 1. Don't even say that.
Listen, I've got them at 1.
I know you do, but you don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to like it until Saturday.
Well, in other words, if they're going to pick him off, he wants to pick him off from
at the top of the mountain. At the top, baby. That's why I put him there.
Are you feeling it? Are you feeling the pick right now?
I'm not. I won't feel it until Saturday morning when I wake up.
I think you might be feeling that flu still a little.
No flu. Flu is
I'm
gone.
just
It's
now
gone.
noticing that Leon has worn exclusively Miami gear this whole week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, normally he mixes up a little Jag gear, a little Miami gear. It is Legends weekend.
It is Legends weekend.
But you're wearing
It's
you're all
Florida
you
State
all the
Miami,
time,
baby.
Yeah. All right, I love it. JJ.
Quickly, I look at the power rankings a little different than everyone else.
Cue your music up, by the way.
Yeah, I think Alabama, to me, is the number 2 team. I'm just going to Georgia number 1, Alabama, who I think will be favored against Georgia in the SEC title game in a few weeks. I think they're the second best team in the nation.
SEC home.
Oh, whatever. To me, this is based on who I think the best teams are. Ohio State number 3, Florida State number 4, and I got Texas number 5. I know they beat Alabama, but I think if they played right now again, Alabama would beat them.
No cheating Michigan for you.
No, not yet, just because I haven't seen them play. I mean, if they handle Penn State, they're definitely in the top 5 after that.
Yeah, I think they're going to put a number up this week.
Yeah, well, it's 4.5, and I'm very, very curious about where that Vegas knows all and where they decided to chime in with that number. That's the first single-digit number of the year. Obviously, it's a good team they're facing, but
Imagine what they're going to do to Ohio State in Ann Arbor the last week of the season.
Yeah.
My God.
Well, if I
It's
know
not
that
gonna be
everyone's
pretty.
cheating, then that's fine. Then we can go
It's
ahead and
not
just
gonna be pretty,
kick
man.
butt and
With or without
recognize.
signals, it's not going to be
Are they really that much better?
I
mean, I feel like
so-
Ohio State's
so here it
defense
is.
is really good this
I
year.
feel like they're very similar, okay? But the Michigan
Offensively?
quarterback
Yeah.
is night and day better than the Ohio State quarterback.
All right, so we will head to break. We'll get everything cranking with the Power 5 in the National Football League, but we speak of power in the National Football League. A Hall of Famer is going to be walking in the 1 o'clock hour. Leroy Butler will join us, Jacksonville's own, as he's being inducted into the Florida Sports Hall of Fame on a Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday.
Cruising with XL Prime Time in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. 1010XL is committed to making your Friday feel more like a weekend.
Oh, I'm with you.
That's why we give you Pre-Game Friday.
It's a good time. You know what I mean?
Brought to you by MyBookie and Dream Finders Homes. I am ready on 1010XL.
Mia here, and let me tell you about one of our area's best resorts, the Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa. The Sawgrass Marriott is not only a great destination for a vacation, but it is also a great destination for dining on the Florida's First Coast. 1912 Ocean Bar and Rooftop is now open on Ponte Vedra Boulevard, featuring Ponte Vedra's only oceanfront rooftop bar and lounge. Serving finely crafted cocktails and delectable eats, it's open daily from 4 to 10 with complimentary valet parking.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Did you know that all graduates of Local 234's apprenticeship program are licensed journeymen? That means all plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC techs will have hundreds of hours of experience and have passed the Jacksonville City Licensed Journeyman exam. They're the best trained and safest skilled tradespeople in the industry. Don't leave yourself exposed to inadequate workmanship or even danger. Always hire a licensed journeyman. Local 234. Make the right connection. Equal opportunity employer.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Problems followed by promises followed by proof.
That's the game plan for Chad and Sandy. When it comes time for you to sell your home, there is no problem that they can't promise to fix and ultimately give you the proof. Maybe you have a growing family or you're working from home and you need more space. Trust Chad and Sandy. They're the real estate expert that I would trust and recommend for the sale of your home. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Take Randall and Tammy in Keystone Heights. They say we needed to sell fast to move closer to Mom, who needed help. Sadly, our home was listed with another realtor for over 190 days. We heard Chad and Sandy's guarantee on the radio. We hired them. They launched an amazing marketing plan, sold our home in less than 30 days. We left as soon as the offer was official, and Chad and Sandy handled all the rest. That promise, if they don't sell your home, they will buy it. Call the agents I trust and recommend. Chad and Sandy at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com.
Tailgaters Parking is ready for football. Tailgaters proudly offers game day parking. Arrive 4 hours before kickoff and enjoy indoor restrooms, Growler's full-service bar and grill, and easy access in and out. Visit tailgatersparking.com.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is Hayes Carline here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish Revolution, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
At Beaches Jewelry and Pawn, layaway is always an option. Times are tough for some, so anything you need or want from surfboards to tools to high-end jewelry, layaway is always an option at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me, if you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Bold City Brewery, established in 2008, the oldest craft brewery in Jacksonville, and proud to celebrate 15 years of brewing great beers in Duval. With 2 locations serving delicious beers, seltzers, and ciders produced in-house, 1 location located in downtown Jacksonville, and the production facility and restaurant located off of Roselle Street in Riverside. Bold City Brewery, striving to have something for everyone and keeping the tradition of brewing great beers and serving fantastic food in Jacksonville. Log on and taste the craft at boldcitybrewery.com.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Rotator cuff tears are the most common overhead injuries I see. In order to avoid shoulder issues, make sure not to overload the front of the shoulder while also focusing on developing good scapular strength and maintaining flexibility in your lats. Proper hydration, nutrition, and supplementation are also crucial to joint and muscle health. Go Jag.
Famous Quick Lube helps keep your car in dependable travel condition. Stop in today, where they'll change your oil, rotate the tires, check the filters, wipers, lights, and get you right back to your holiday plans. Famous Quick Lube, 12 locations servicing every customer like they're famous.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. The Women's Board of Wolfson Children's Hospital is proud to present Mike Krzyzewski tonight as a keynote speaker at the Florida Forum. He won 5 national titles at Duke. He went to 13 Final Fours. Coach K shared with the Frangie Show a career achievement that stands above the rest.
The biggest moment is winning the Olympics, because it's the whole world and it's your country. I've been blessed with amazing moments. And also, to get those moments, at times you had very difficult defeats. Thank goodness we didn't have that with the Olympics, and we won a few of them.
Coach K will speak tonight at 7 p.m. at the Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts. It's 80 degrees at 1 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose on 1010XL.
It's always a treat when we get to say hello to, I think one of my favorite people. And then when he comes in studio, it's even better. Leroy Butler joins us. He's hanging out. You can go on 1010XL on YouTube, search it, and you can see Leroy. A round of applause. Not only is he a Hall of Famer in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but he's right here in Duval, a Hall of Famer. Leroy.
Yes.
Welcome in, man.
This is amazing. I have to thank Molly up front.
Yep.
When she's probably embarrassed. I'm sorry, Molly, but it's the first time I came in to a radio station, and they had my name up on
She made sure.
the monitor.
Yeah.
And she spelled it correctly.
Yeah.
Her family should be proud.
And you used to work at a radio station, too.
Exactly.
Never got that sort of
Never.
treatment. That's why we need you to come hang
Yes.
out here more.
Yes, that's a good point.
Now, I don't know if you heard the rejoiner coming back because you are a radio pro, but it said Leon and the Sausage Dudes. So
I
do
like
you know
that.
you're
I'm okay with that.
You could be one of the Sausage Dudes just for now?
Yes. Well, it depends on what y'all paying. I mean,
Always.
He still got 2 cash apps when we beat Miami. He ain't paid me.
Oh,
It's not true. I just made that up. I made it up.
I made it.
I love Leon.
All right, so let's get the conversation going with just the essence of being inducted into this Hall of Fame because we're going to go back and talk to you about the enshrinement in Canton, but just how special is this in your hometown?
Well, this one was more for the culture of my brand and where I'm from. When you make the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's a huge platform. And in my Hall of Fame speech, I said it was football heaven. But the state of Florida, when you're talking about high school football and what it means to the DNA of Duval County and my story, it was 2 people I did think about when I got the call. Was Coach Corky Rogers, because that was my guy, and my mom was my role model. And a quick story, and this made me think about this. I was telling this to Tom Coughlin, who I think is a Hall of Famer. We'll talk about that later. I was telling Wayne Gallman was one of the best running backs at Terry Parker.
Yeah.
He was kind of my idol. He was the guy. So I get a letter from Hammond Gracie. He was my coach at Fort Caroline. He said, "You're going to Terry Parker." I said, "Okay, fine." So I go over there. Coach Scroggins is the coach. He let me practice because the 9th graders can practice in the spring going into 10th grade. So I go home and my mom says, I got an issue. I said, "What's that?" "You got to go to Lee High School." I'm like, "But I'm practicing with..." She said, "I know it's like the busing system or whatever based on your last name." So I go to Lee High School and for my 10th grade year, and it changed my life because I'm thinking, I'm African American in the projects, inner city, and it's a confusion what school you go to. That's a lot for a kid to go through mentally. But what made me handle it was Coach Rogers say, "Hey man, the only thing we do here is go to school and play football."
Love that.
And so I should have probably went to Terry Parker, but God is good and went to Lee High School, now Riverside.
And then that obviously sets you up on the trajectory to go to Florida State. And I think that's another big reason for your induction into the Florida Sports Hall of Fame because we were just saying about Leon as well. A guy who played in high school in Florida, college in Florida.
Yes.
There is, I think, especially in this NIL age, maybe we've lost it a little bit, but for you guys to have stayed in state, what did that mean then versus what does it even mean now? Probably even more important.
That's a great question. I think the reason why it's a great question, because I think people don't realize that more guys do leave because they want to get away from family and be out on their own. I didn't want to do that. I was a mama's boy. And I wanted all the people in Duval to see me. And not only that, if you know my story, because Matt, he babysat me when I was little, so he knows my story. Matt Hayes, by the way. So I'm thinking, I was a Prop 48. I wasn't eligible, so I thought my life was over. Miss Gordon, at my algebra teacher at Lee High School, she filled out the paperwork for me to attend college. My mom had to work 3 or 4 jobs, raising 5 kids, poverty. And I'm thinking, I'm never going to make it. But Coach Bobby Bowden, God is good, he called my mom on a rotary phone. For you millennials, they didn't have like internet.
We still have one at my parents' house in New Jersey.
Shout out to
yeah,
your
yeah,
parents.
Yeah.
Just don't put it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because people be like, can't believe that. But I'm thinking, okay, I got to be able to go to college so I can go to the pros. I want to go to the pros so bad. But this is why this award tonight is important for me. Coach Bobby Bowden had one visit, home visit. He only can do one. And he chose me. And he comes into the projects.
Mm-hmm.
It's the projects, now the Blodgett homes, to give me a scholarship. He wrote my mom a handwritten letter. I want your son to come to Florida State. And it changed my life. Because I didn't play my freshman year.
Yeah.
So, but, as you know, Leon, when you hit the campus, everybody all-American. Everybody's good.
Everybody's great. Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody's, but I didn't go to any parties. Wasn't invited to anything. So that whole year, my freshman year, I would go down and wave to the team as they leave.
Oh.
And they were on the bus looking, why is this guy so happy? He's not on the bus. I said, I got plenty of time to be on that bus. I'm happy to be out in the inner city, representing Duval County, but if it wasn't for Coach Bobby Bowden, there is no Leroy Butler or Leroy Butler. It's semantics, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did something. Thank you for the producer for laughing at my
did.
joke.
I got it. Yeah,
Give that guy a 50-cent raise, okay? 50 cents. That's all we can afford. But that's what tonight is, the branding of my documentary that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
How does this happen coming from the Blodgett home to get to Florida State would be a pretty decent story.
Oh, I think
but
so.
From there, it was great.
Now, Leroy, of all your accomplishments, at Florida State, in the NFL Hall of Fame and all that kind of stuff, how important is it to you that people in your community, kids in your community, see what you amounted to, coming from the areas you came from, to let them know that if you could do it, they could do it as well?
That's a very emotional question because I remember my uncle, Charles Durham, he would give me these speeches all the time. And he had plenty of nieces and nephews. But for me, being disabled, I wasn't able to run outside to jump. And
yeah, remind people of that too, Leroy. I don't think people maybe are familiar with the fact that you couldn't walk.
Yes.
The first how many years of your life?
I forget, but it was seemed like forever.
You were Gump. You had the braces, right?
6 or 7 years. And I told that to Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
I was Forrest Gump before you.
That's beautiful.
Okay?
That's beautiful.
What is going on with this? And he just looked at me like, hey, really? Yes. It was tough. And Leon, I couldn't go to the Jefferson Street pool to swim because I had braces on. I sit on the porch and I watch other kids laughing with their families going to the pool. And it was tough because it was 85, 90 degrees. But my mom, my hero, although I was in poverty, she had me thinking, you're rich. And then my grandmother took it further. She said God gave everybody a talent. I said, what's my talent? Because I'm a special education kid, special needs kid, and no friends, no sleepovers, no malls, none of that. And she said, you have a very unique ability to ignore negative stuff. If you can do that, you can lead other kids out of this thinking that you're stuck in the Blodgett home. And I always think of that every time I woke up. My sister, who's my other hero, she would write NFL and put it under my pillow every day.
Really?
Some people had the tooth fairy. I had a piece of paper.
Nice.
Okay?
Nice.
When your teeth fall out in the projects, you just put it back in. you don't get no money for it. But she wanted me to stay focused because she said, all these kids are going to be watching you. And when I got drafted, it changed the entire city. Yeah. So I'll never forget that. So every day I think about some of the kids who live in these poverty areas. That's not an excuse to break the law, hurt yourself or somebody else. And I think that's the good thing about my story is I get a chance to tell that, especially tonight on a platform that when you say FSU, Miami, which is FSU this week, that means something. Nationally, it may not, but Lee High School against Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
We used to be in the Gator Bowl, 40,000 people.
Yeah.
I can tell those stories and it mean more. It hits better home, and that's what the Florida Sports Hall of Fame means to me. And Greg Coleman came up to me, congratulations to him. He said, "Man, I thought you was already in the sports Hall of Fame."
Hey, believe me, we're sitting there going, "Wait a minute, he's got that yellow jacket
right.
on."
Smitter tweeted it. Smitter was like, "How did we not have him in? Yet he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame already."
Timing is everything.
So, Leroy,
Yes.
first off, I love you have the unique ability to ignore the negative. That's
Yes.
so good, man.
Yes.
Number two, and this might sound a little odd, man, you have a movie script. Your life is a movie script. It is a movie. Has anyone approached you, or have you thought about that at all?
Yeah, that's why I developed Leap 36 Production to go out and raise the money to tell the story. And documentaries are a little bit different than movies. Documentary, you're kind of telling your story from your view,
right?
But you give other people the platform to tell their story. Like Gene Fournette. Now, you think about media.
Mm-hmm.
Gene's with you forever.
Gene and a few other guys, they used to come and practice with us.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The way Gene's catching passes. Can you imagine media doing that now? No, we ain't.
More
You keep them
importantly,
behind
can
the
you
line.
imagine Gene doing it now?
So Gene, I'm like, and Coach Rogers would just throw passes, and we would have fun with it, and we were just kind of putting together the timeline of putting this story together. And what Leon said is paramount, because when kids get a chance to see it, and some of it's in animation, because I remember talking to one of my producers, and she said to me, and this was amazing. She said, "Do you have any pictures of videos of you when you were a kid?" My other assistant said, "Wait a minute, he was in poverty. He don't have no videos. There's no Christmas cards. There's none of this. No.
Yeah.
If you visited your grandparents, which was like 4 blocks away, you was hoping to get there alive." So she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I think she's like 29, but she ain't supposed to know.
Because everybody has a phone to
Exactly.
document everything
We
now.
didn't have
You know that.
Polaroids and stuff like that. So that's why a documentary is best. People can tell the story and you can visualize it. And then some of it's in animation, and then you can kind of tell the story.
I like that.
It really is. It's so inspiring, and anybody you tell the story to, they go, they come away like, wow, that did really happen. And yes, it did really happen. All right, so before we get to FSU Miami, you did the telethon yesterday. So,
Yes.
kind of pull this all
Thank you
together
so
as far
much.
as your involvement.
Another emotional. That's why it's the best show.
Yeah.
Because it's a way to tie in sports and real life. And I just remember being paycheck to paycheck, and you pray to God that some stranger to have enough philanthropists in his heart to give so you can live.
Yeah.
That's a hard place to live as far as we talk about mental health and anxiety. So changing homelessness next year will be 50 years that they've been trying to combat this. And I'm kind of their spokesperson. And yesterday, with the help of WJCT, we raised $10,000. And I want to thank them, because normally time you pitch stuff to the TV side, I don't know. Radio is awesome because people can flip it on their channels and listen to it in real time.
Yeah.
But this is, you're asking people, because I flew in Monday night at 1 in the morning, and I got to my hotel about 1:45, and it started at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be late. And you, old school, pick up the phone, people watching you, and you ask for a pledge or a donation. And not only did I fly down to do it, it's important for me moving forward to do this in all 50 states, because my mom taught me, if you don't start helping people, what's the use of having all these Hall of Fame stuff
It's
if
the
you're
truth.
just wasting it and not using the platform to help people? So thank you so much for that.
How can people help now, Leroy?
They can still go to changinghomelessness.com, and they can still, even if you Google Leroy Butler, Changing Homelessness in Jacksonville, they'll get you where you need to go, because you can still give.
Online.
You can still give online, and just make a pledge. Say your check is in 2 weeks and you want to give $5. You just pledge it, and in 2 weeks, say you can't do it in 2 weeks. I'm having some issues, but I still want to give. Can I do it December 1st? Of course. I started 2 things real quick that's amazing. for kids, make it obsolete by delete. If you see something that's not true, just delete it. And you just need one yes. You may get 50 no's.
Right.
I'm sure Leon's got tons of no's, but he doesn't remember that. But he does remember that one yes. I was the family that was hoping that somebody would give me that one yes to a food pantry. But people don't want to be homeless. No, but who's going to help them? And even it pushes the politicians to put some of that money that they're putting in some of their favorite programs. Why can't this be favorite? So it gives us that platform.
All right, listen, we'll make sure we get those addresses, your foundation, and that out before we're done.
I appreciate it.
We're going to come back, and I'm hoping, I'm looking at the U, and
I love
seeing
Leon, so
FSU
this is going to be
and
hard.
So I'm going to get you to cut it up just a little bit with Big Search because it is FSU Miami week. We got Leroy Butler hanging out with us, XL Primetime Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Now, another classic moment in Jags history. 1010XL.
Did you know the new 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid has an onboard system that charges the battery so you never have to plug it in? When you think Honda, you think quality, value, safety. Now think hybrid. Visit your local Honda dealer and experience the car of tomorrow today.
Mia here. The holidays are around the corner, and the last thing you want to be dealing with is a plumbing or septic emergency. Get those clogged drains flowing well now before your mother-in-law gets to town. I don't know what's worse, plumbing nightmare or the upset mother-in-law. And if you have septic tank or home in your business, you need to get it pumped out now by my friends at Duck Duck Rooter. Call them today at 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
5-Star Pizza is bigger, better, and faster. Call now for their 1010XL value deal. That's 2 12-inch cheese pizzas for just $10 each. And they'll deliver them to you right now. 10-10 deal from 5-Star Pizza.
Tailgating is back. But if you're like most of us, your grill is probably a filthy, greasy mess. Trust Grill SOS Barbecue Grill Cleaning Service to make sure your grill is squeaky clean for the fall grilling season. Schedule your grill cleaning now at grillsos.com.
If golf is your thing, you might want to check out Hidden Hills Golf Club. At Hidden Hills, we simply love the game, and we take great care of our golfing friends. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com. You'll be glad you did.
Can the Canes calm the storm in Coral Gables and rejoin college football's elite?
I'm JJ LaSalva, and I bring you news and notes you need to know from Miami every week on the Hurricane Report.
Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve on 1010XL.
The year is almost over. Do you need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt-free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit can get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Listen, if you have a ton of equity in your house, and Loan Pronto can help you turn that equity into cash, you can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards, pay off personal loans, or start that home improvement project. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact. So your 3% rate, it's protected. And with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line program, 90% of the time, there's no need for an appraisal. So you can get your money super fast. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards before the new year. Get yourself on solid financial footing before the year ends and call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal Housing Lender, NLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
The age of light beer is here. Modelo Oro, treasured for its smooth, elevated taste and crisp, clean finish. 90 calories, 3 grams of carbs. It's the gold standard of light beer.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Josie for the Preferred Group, Preferred Roofing, Preferred Builders, companies that really do a good job from the jump. And that is absolutely, in a busy construction world, there's a lot of competitive people out there trying to make sure they get your work, but you want the work that's done to be right. So make sure you check out a local company, preferredroofingjacks.com, especially with all that rain. If you're looking around, you got leaks, you need repairs, you need replacement, go with that local company, preferredroofingjacks.com. And if you're thinking about remodels, additions, brand new, they can do it. Start to finish, preferredbuildersjacks.com.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
The shoulder is one of the body's largest joints, prone to a variety of injuries and conditions that cause pain. Dr. George Bari here, and at Bari Orthopedics, we know an active lifestyle can lead to serious joint pain. We can help with an accurate diagnosis and treatment for a full spectrum of shoulder injuries, from arthritis, bursitis, tendonitis, or rotator cuff and labral tearing. Bari Orthopedics can help. If you or a loved one suffers from shoulder pain, don't hesitate to call or log on to bariorthopedics.com.
Men suffering from ED or PE, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Prime Men's Medical Center. For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. You'll even get a gift that enhances performance in the bedroom. Call 904-664-8217.
Hey, poker fans. Catch all the action at Best Bet. With over $690,000 in poker promotions paid out this month, there is no better time than now to head to the poker rooms. November highlights include the $300 St. Augustine Championship with a $30,000 guarantee at Best Bet St. Augustine, high hand promotions at all locations, and holiday high hams at Jacksonville all month long. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Come out and see the drill this Thursday morning for the start of the Lifetime Enclosures Weekend Open House Sale. It's football season, which means specials on glass enclosures with flooring all weekend long. Open house Friday through Sunday at Lifetime Enclosures.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
XL Primetime with you till 3, hanging with the Hall of Famer, Leroy Butler, for one more segment here on a Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday on 1010XL. And before we get to the big game this week,
yes, ma'am,
Leroy, I do want to share with you a couple of the messages off the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. This one in particular, this is from Westside Charles, who says, Leroy is the most awesome guest y'all have had on in a long time. I just pledged $50 because he inspired me so much with all his work against homelessness in Jacksonville and beyond. I challenge all the other Westside Wolverines out there to match my pledge. So not just the Lehigh, Riverside High crowd, but even some of those rivals. They're hearing the message, and apparently they want to start a little.
So do the website again.
A little back and forth.
It's really easy. Changinghomelessness.com. And they got another site, too, that's a little bit more simplified. I just text them to text it to me. I'll give it to you before we end. But, see, that's kind of stuff makes me cry because you're thinking that one yes can help somebody you don't know. Anybody can help us because they know us. But if you give money to help people, you have no idea who they are. My mom used to always tell me, those are the real heroes, helping people they don't know. So thank you very much. And every little bit counts. Thank you.
You better believe it. All right, now, when we talk about this, every little bit counts. You got an undefeated FSU team. Leon, tell him what you said earlier. Anything can happen on a Saturday. You told him, right? Or you need to tell him.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I
wish I was feeling a little bit more confident in our side of the gates. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, Florida State, they held serve. You know, they're undefeated. 9-0, number 4 in the country, with aspirations to play in the playoffs. Miami's on a turnover tear. We just can't quarterback just getting rid of the football. So, but listen, this type of game where you got Miami, Florida State. I mean, and Leroy will tell you back in the day, it didn't matter because we were mirror images of each other. You know, we probably, some of us went to the same high school, some of us played against each other in high school, and the same reason why he stayed at Florida State, the reason why I stayed in Miami. I stayed in the state of Florida because I wanted family to come see me. You know, I didn't want to go nowhere all the way up north where they have to travel and all that kind of stuff. Listen, I wanted my parents to be able to get on the turnpike, head down south to see me in Miami the same way he wanted his parents to come across I-10 to come to Tallahassee to see him.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's just one of my best friends is Michael Irvin, and I just remember in the Blaze Brothers, Brian and Benny, and we played Miami, and Coach Bowden said, you know, we're playing these boys down south now. I need you. Then he said, let me put it like this. You can have a bad game. Just don't let it be Saturday.
You do a good balance.
Okay. But it was ratcheted up because it's always 2 weeks before Florida. But I remember Chief Osceola, who was my guy, he'd get on, and put the spear down. Well, Miami wouldn't let him come out. So I said, he's going to either jump over these guys or they got to move. So they put that spear down. So it was a bunch of back and forth. And I just remember our student body, though, and their student body, probably the most passionate.
Oh, yeah. All right, so where would you put FSU Miami versus FSU Florida?
Well, as far as a rival?
Yeah, just that intensity.
Miami #1.
Okay, all right.
You don't remember when we made the video?
Yeah.
And they beat us 31-0?
Oh, yeah.
We did a video, okay? And I must say I was the best rapper in that video.
This is sounding like the 1999 Jaguars song. But continue.
I'm just saying, though, we were
This was all off season. Yeah, this was
supposed to be
oh my gosh,
national champs. And 31-0.
Yeah.
It was in Miami. And it was like, okay. But Florida, we had a handle on them, but it was very difficult with Miami. Well, they had like 15 or 20 guys going in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about that rap video, you got to remember the year before we had won the national championship.
Exactly.
We won the national championship, and we won it because y'all went for 2, and y'all lost to us by 1 point in that game or whatever. So preseason, they had Florida State #1 after we had won the national championship. And I remember Jimmy Johnson had the tape in his hand. And Jimmy Johnson walked to the podium and said, there seems to be a team that it's not giving us our proper respect and due. I mean, Jimmy, you know, he was steward about it. He said, and they're making videos. And he took the tape. We're like, videos? What the hell are you talking about? He put it in the tape, and he sat back and he crossed his hands. Here come those seminal rap. I said, and here's the reason why. Hey, listen, only reason why we were so upset at the video, because we didn't do it first.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, shout out to Luke and
We
Campbell.
ain't do it first.
Luke should have put that thing together, man.
We ain't do it first. That's why we were upset.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
And we were wondering why. I mean, and yes, we did have VHS tapes. Right?
Yeah, it was VHS tapes.
Yeah, exactly.
How much are you following the Noles these days?
Mike Norvell's platinum.
Yeah?
See, you got to understand my culture. When Taggart was there, it was a head scratcher. I'll be honest. That when I was with other pro football players and they talk about their schools, I just ducked my head. Because I'm not seeing the ground game of recruiting.
Right.
If you don't do that, you're just not going to get to where you need to be. My best friend, Odell Higgins, has been on the staff forever. He was an intern head coach. And all me and Odell talk about is recruiting. And then when Norvell came in, you could feel the energy. He got all the alumni back. He wanted the players to see what it takes to build this.
Yeah.
And Norvell we saw him on that track of getting guys. Keon Coleman, number 4 in your program. How did you get to Florida State? In the portal, Michigan State, all these schools wanted him, but it's things that flip. When you flip somebody, when they come to your campus, when your head coach are honest with you, I never promise starting position, but you're going to get a shot. And I need somebody to tell my mom, like Coach Bowden told my mom, I'm going to take care of your baby on the field and off.
That's
we may have a couple crab legs, allegedly, or two.
Every once
Everybody
in a
had
while.
that. But for the most part, he's going to get an education, and he's going to play for a team that's going to be on TV every week. Two things can be true, and that's the reason why Norvell, to me, is everything you need with a coach. You got to be a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be a coach. You got to be a parent. You got to be a financial advisor. And guess what? You have to keep him.
Re-recruit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why he's good. He re-recruits his guys. So next year, if, a team come in and say, we got something,
Nice little NIL package.
a little cheddar for you. Not cheese, but cheddar.
Yeah, it needed to happen up there. We know that.
Yeah, we keep him.
So I think you made a great point, and this really isn't football, but I want to go back to Bobby because Bobby was such a good dude, such a great man. He came through on his promise.
Yeah.
And I know he says it to everybody, he says it to every recruit, but he literally took care of you, didn't he?
No question. Coach Bowden taught me how to wash clothes. I said, my mom washed my clothes. What are you talking about? You got to wash your own clothes. You're a freshman. I said, okay, how do you do that? He said, well, you go to the laundromat and do what the sorority girls do, and the frat guys, they'll help you because they do it all the time. So we went there. So a lot of these athletes are jamming $1 into a thing that clearly says coins only, but we're not used to doing it. Coach Bowden got us our own laundromat. Just push a button.
Nice.
So I'm growing up. He taught me how to be respectful. And it's okay to say you have faith, that you're saved.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a Christian young man, he started the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I said, you can be silly like me and still be saved.
Yeah.
You don't need to be like this straight-laced person. That's why when Leon them beat Notre Dame, standing ovation.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I want Miami to beat Notre Dame because they think you're supposed to be a certain way. But one of my other best friends, Jerome Bettis, that's what Coach Bowden taught me. It's okay to be saved because it's a way of life. You don't hurt nobody, don't hurt yourself. You be respectful. Then you go live your life. You ain't got to go to church every day because we went so much when I was little. I said, Mom, is there something different I'm going to learn? I was just there Wednesday. I got to go Wednesday, Thursday. She said, no, it's a way of thinking.
Did you do a Sunday school speech? Because I remember Sunday school speeches.
Jesus wept and get out.
Oh, that's it. That was a quick
Jesus
one.
wept.
Jesus wept and leave.
Don't get up there and try to remember all that.
Mm-mm.
And they give you some Tootsie Rolls and you sit in the front row.
You good.
I said, I got baptized 3 times. Because my mom said, well, it's like swimming. So I came down the thing in my swimming trunks. And like a little swim things you put on your arm.
Yeah.
Yep.
He said, not quite like that. But I didn't know what the first 2 times was. I just thought it was cool just to get wet. The last time was more spiritual. But that's what Coach Bowden taught me. You can be saved and be a normal guy. That's why Reggie White was so pivotal in my life. But Coach Bowden, I'll never forget him.
All right, listen, let's finish with this because we got to turn you loose. And I always say this whenever I get a chance to tell the story, we're playing golf, and I'm in this company with him and Brett Favre, and I'm loving it. I'm thinking, I don't want this moment to end. Lightning pops, and he's like, we're going inside. I'm like, Leroy, I think it's going to go past. It's going to go past. He says, look, I got babies to take care of. Okay, we are coming off this golf course right now. So now those babies have babies.
Yes.
So you got to go see
Yes.
them.
Yeah, I'm going to surprise my grandkids, and I just got to make sure the teachers keep them. They're not coming with me.
Yeah.
They're trying to get out of school early.
Yeah.
Yes, because they know I'm a sucker.
Yeah.
I'll give them everything and do everything.
But repeat one more time your foundation and then the other website for the homelessness so we can help wherever we can.
I really appreciate that. And Changing Homelessness has been around for 49 years. Mm-hmm. Next year is the 50th year. So I'll just make sure I circle back with you guys to help me promote that.
Yes.
It'll be next year. But just go to changinghomelessness.org.
Okay. Yeah, O-R-G.
Yes, or I apologize for .com, but it's semantics at time. But then again, it's not because it's nonprofit.
Right.
So changinghomelessness.org.
Which we already got another West Side Wolverine who said that got him, and he just pledged $20.
Oh,
and then
people platinum.
Leap 36 too.
Yeah, go to Leap 36. Everything, Twitter, Facebook, and everything. LeroyButlerInc.com. That's my Butler versus Bullying campaign. You can hire me to come speak at schools. Stuff like that. I make it real easy for people. If you're looking for speakers, And I think for the most part, I'm a good speaker because I try to cover a lot of areas. And I love everybody, man. I just want everybody to get along.
We love you back, bro. You're a good man. Thank you.
The reason why I love you,
Yeah.
because you know where a lot of bodies are buried about me. And you never told nobody. When you give a guy a mic, you never know. I get nervous.
Yeah, I understand,
I didn't
bro.
come here
I've got
sweating.
nothing but good stories to tell about Leroy. That's
Thank
for
you.
sure.
And a score prediction, sir. Florida State, Miami on Saturday.
Florida State win 30. Well, if Keon Coleman plays 40, but I'll do 33. I'll say 33-20.
All right. Okay. So hey, Miami would cover the spread.
Yeah, Miami will go to a bowl one day. I mean,
one day.
It's
one
our
day.
time.
I agree.
But I love Leon though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's
Love
not
it.
to love?
Yeah.
Love you back, bro.
Love
Love you
Any guy play for an expansion team to me and just stay here so I can see him, touch him, and the fabric of the culture. Leon is an icon, and I appreciate that. If the people like him is the reason why I do what I do.
Yeah, he's Duval through and through, and so are you.
People need to know that,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
So I
which is
appreciate
good.
it.
Listen, bro, we appreciate it very
Thank
much.
you so
You
much. I
know
love
that.
you guys. Thank you.
He will
We
be
love you. The
inducted
Nooners love you,
tonight.
too.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
he will be
much.
inducted tonight in the 2023 Florida Sports Hall of Fame class, along with Greg Coleman and many others, including what did we say about Vince Carter earlier?
Half man, half amazing.
Exactly, and plenty more. So we will have the Frangie Show down there tonight. So if you can get down there, make sure you check it out.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. The Jags come off the bye as one of the teams to beat in the AFC.
It's a great spot to be in.
After a week of rest and recovery, it's time to refocus.
It's a mindset.
This time, we're back at the bank against one of the NFC's best. Jaguars 49ers, Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars. 1010XL.
Mia here. Believe it or not, the holidays are coming. So why not make the trip to Grandma's house in style and comfort with a little help from my friends at Arlington Toyota. Arlington has over 575 new Toyotas available, and your new Toyota purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty. Arlington even has all makes and models of used inventory. I'm talking over 400 on the lot. You even get Arlington's 30-day exchange program with your pre-owned purchase. Why wait? Shop in person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Are you fed up with your old, unreliable AC system? Then you'll love Bolt City Heating and Air's Black Friday Trade-In Extravaganza, going on all month. It's the deal of the season. They're offering a whopping $2,400 trade-in cash for your old AC system, so you can upgrade to a brand new, energy-efficient unit. That's right, $2,400 toward a comfortable, worry-free holiday season. It's the Black Friday sale that lasts all month, only at Bolt City Heating and Air and BoltCityAC.com.
Are you ready for the ultimate happy hour experience? Look no further than Bellwether, downtown's undisputed champion of good times. It's Tuesday through Saturday from 4 to 7 p, with the exception on Friday when happy hour starts at 11 a.m. Rally the team and head over to Bellwether. The vibe is full and the food is unbeatable. Free parking after 6 p on weekdays and all weekend. Bellwether Restaurant, where great food and the best happy hour in town come together for an epic win.
Hacker here, and look, football season is in full swing, and no game day setup is complete without the Sausage Dude sausage. I'm a sausage guy, and the Sausage Dude sausage is the best sausage I've ever had. Try their 4 terrific flavors, including Polish, Hungarian, beer bratwurst with jalapeno, and my personal favorite, the Italian today, by picking them up at any Publix in the Jacksonville area. Football and sausage, it's a winning combination. Go get the Sausage Dude sausage at any Publix in the Jacksonville area right now.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 8, 1997, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays named their first manager, Larry Rothschild. Rothschild would manage the Rays from 1998 until early 2001.
When you roll into a convenience store for some cold Bud Light, you want to make sure it's, well, cold. Check out the big coolers at Circle K. They make sure it's chilled and ready to go for the big game or party. Swing by Circle K and pick up some cold Bud Light.
Get Gators play-by-play on 1010XL. Brought to you by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Bank in the 2023 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards, and it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Whether you're undertaking a major home renovation or just a simple repair request, American Electrical is your 5-star Jacksonville-based electrician to get the work done right. Experienced design building department working seamlessly with their electrical contracting department to help you create beautiful lighting spaces and electrical plans that make your house flow. And remember, with American Electrical, it's wired right at a fair price. Call American Electric at 737-7770. Look for that red, white, and blue eagle on the side of their truck, and you'll know it's American Electrical.
This is Hayes Carline for SkyLife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332, go to flyskylife.com, and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence addressed the media this afternoon and spoke about the importance of playing the 49ers at home on Sunday.
Great team coming in here. We get to play at home instead of having to go to the West Coast, things like that. I mean, that's definitely good for us. So the fans are going to be huge. I mean, obviously we've got a lot of momentum right now, and they're a huge part of that. And just bringing that, we've been really successful on the road this year. We need to start winning at home more, and that's a big part of, with our fans as well. And I know that's what they're looking forward to seeing. So we just need all we can get, all that home field advantage.
Trevor Lawrence earlier today on facing the 49ers on Sunday at the Bank. Our game day coverage of Jaguars 49ers begins Sunday morning at 8 with the kickoff show. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, the Bari Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
I'm coming in hot.
From one Duval legend to another. Dr. George Bari, and you actually have a personal anecdote regarding Mr. Leroy Butler.
Oh, so I lived like 2 minutes away from, I don't know if it was his house or his mom's house at the time, but my buddy I went to school with was like, because Leroy Butler lives right here, right? And he's my neighbor, or his mom was my neighbor. So we used to always ride our bikes there and hang outside the house to see if he was there and sneak a peek.
Finally get to meet him in
Yeah.
the flesh here. And, of course, our thanks to Leroy for stopping by. He will also, hopefully, as timing permits, be a guest of the Frangie Show, the Florida Sports Hall of Fame induction tonight, and Frank Frangie emceeing that. As we sit here at 1010XL headquarters, Gio, I was going to ask you about this anyways, and now we have live updates from Jaguar practice. That Zay Jones, we were told this morning, would practice off to the side, but he would get a workout in. He's participating in individual drills, but sporting a brace on his right knee. As we know, it was some sort of bone bruise initially on that right knee. Maybe they rushed him back, maybe they didn't. Reports now I've seen of, is it a ligament? Is it still the bone bruise? He does have a brace, though, on that right knee, but he is running with the wide receivers.
Yeah. A bone bruise or a bone contusion we talk about can take a while sometimes to get better. Now, if it could be possibly a ligament with it, right? Just an additional injury that they're not saying, so that's very possible, especially when you're wearing a brace because, the brace doesn't really help a bone contusion. It can help stabilize your knee a little bit, but for the bone contusion itself, it doesn't do anything. Now, if you have a ligament damage, like an MCL or LCL, the brace can definitely help prevent re-injury or aggravation of it. So it may be something else they're not saying, but a bone contusion can take time. If it's very painful, it can definitely take time for someone to come back and play well.
All right, I want to get into one that I just felt bad, really just bad for him. And with Leroy heading out, former Knoll, heck, we were asking him whether or not he had any injuries, and luckily he avoided major injury for much of his career. Cam Akers, second Achilles rupture. Second, and he's a running back. He was in L.A., and I think we're going back 2 seasons.
The Super Bowl year, so 2021.
2 seasons, and he came back, Gio, in 5 months, I feel like, from the Achilles.
Because he tore it end of July, beginning of August, if memory serves me, and then came back in time for the Super Bowl.
It was just crazy what he was able to do. Bottom line is he's now ruptured again. And that's
the same one?
Yeah, I believe so. Second torn Achilles of his career. I'm pretty sure it's the same one. I'm almost positive. But how about just –
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Terrible.
I mean, that's terrible. Anytime you rupture a tendon, there's always a risk of re-rupture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's studies on
Actually, sorry to cut you off. It's the other.
It's the other.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the other.
But, on the same subject, we talk about I had a patient came in, Achilles tendon ruptures. You can treat them non-op and treat them operatively. But the non-op does have an increased risk of re-rupture compared to the operative surgery.
Okay.
But anyways, his is a different one. Whenever I see, ACLs, there's a lot of studies on if you tear one, you're going to tear the other. Achilles, there is a little bit of a tendency if you tear one to tear the other. I think, there's genetic things that go into it. And then also if you have, Achilles like tendonitis that inflames that area and it gets weaker, you can rupture it. But, I mean, that's horrible. It's terrible. I mean, he's come back from the first one, and he did well. So hopefully from the second one, he'll do the same. But I always tell patients when, I'll do a rotator cuff on one side and then do a rotator cuff on the other. Each side heals very, very differently. Just because you did great or horrible healing on one doesn't mean the other one is going to heal the same. They heal completely different. Just it doesn't matter that it's the same person. They heal differently. So hopefully for him, it does heal the same, but it's not shocking if he comes back and that Achilles, this one, for example, takes longer to come back from than the other one. It's not out of the ordinary for that to happen.
It's interesting.
All right, so Zay Jones, he's practicing today, according to Mia. What's the idea of the knee injury? Comes back, goes back out, misses a couple more games. He just came back too soon, you think?
I mean, it's very possible. It's very possible he came back too soon. If you had a bone contusion, that's more of a how it feels type thing, and he could have gone out there and then re-aggravated it at the game, and now it's an injury on top of an injury, and now you're out for longer. Like having a hamstring, you go out, you play for a week, and you're injured. Now you're out for another 3 weeks.
All right, let me just orthopedically, you as an orthopedic surgeon, and I don't know who else would be involved in the decision making, the trainer, whomever else, team doctor, right? But when the example Matt gave, you get injured. And then do you say, okay, now we're really going to err on the side of caution, or was it he did more damage? I know this is a gray area.
It's tough. I mean, I don't have any imaging or anything. I'm sure they got a repeat MRI. I don't.
What's your gut?
I doubt that he had more damage if he's practicing, right?
Yeah.
So I doubt there's more damage. It's probably more just a re-aggravation of that injury.
So building off of that, I want to talk knees because we talked about, this is a contusion, bone bruise potentially for Zay Jones, at least from what we've been told. We've talked a lot about MCL sprains as well. Walker Little did dress and played on special teams against the Steelers. Now the expectation is he will step back in at left guard and will play on offense this week. Timeline-wise, the injury itself-wise, what is different between MCL sprains and these contusions that we're looking at with Zay Jones?
Yeah, well, number one, there are two different things. Bone contusion is the actual bone itself, right? And then the ligament is not a bone; it's a ligament that connects bone to bone. So they're two different structures. Ligaments give you stability. The bone is just your bone. It doesn't, it gives you obviously the structure of your body, but it's not a stabilizing ligament like an MCL or ACL or anything else. And so they're different. A bone contusion is just like when you get punched in the arm, you get bleeding into the shoulder, right, to your arm or whatever, and you get this purple bruise. It's kind of the same thing, but internally inside the bone, and it lights up on MRI, and it takes time to heal, and it's painful. A ligament is a little different. It's stretching of the ligament and tearing of the ligament where you can actually repair it. Bone contusion, you can't really repair it. It's just time-wise. Now, saying that if 3 months go by and you're struggling, you can do a stem cell injection into the bone to try to get it to heal. But normally they heal well on their own. It just takes time.
So if you do have a sports injury question, 641-1010, you can hit the text line. Let us know. If we can get to it, we will try. And then otherwise, Breaking Bones Sunday morning, 7:30, we'll try and fire your question to Gio. Free medical advice.
Yeah.
We bought it for you.
I want to go back to Zay real quick because I'm finding a hard time wrapping my mind around this. So a bone contusion, Gio, is that the tissue on top of the bone that is the problem, or there is actually something wrong with the bone that
bone
is causing?
The bone, so that your femur and your tibia banged into each other.
Right.
The femur is the top part of the knee and the tibia is the bottom,
Mhm.
and they just banged into each other, right? It happens, so when you get an ACL tear, you see bone contusions on MRI, because when you twist that knee and the ACL tears, the bones hit each other,
Okay.
because it becomes unstable. So the bone itself, basically, it's bruised inside of it, not on the outside, not the cartilage that's on the outside. It's the inside of the bone that gets damaged. Normally, a bone contusion, there is other injuries with it, because for your knee to knock, for the top and the bottom part to hit each other, something had to stretch, something had to pull, something had to tear normally. And,
Right.
And they're not saying that with Jones, but normally there's something else going on, which is probably why he has that knee brace, because I'm
Right.
sure he injured something.
Some kind of stability issue, right?
But because normally when you walk, your knees don't smash into each other, right?
Right.
With that kind of force. So, yes, it's inside the bone. It's internal, inside of it. And so you get an x-ray, you don't see anything, right? It's not like it's a break, so you see
So
nothing.
literally time is the only variable in something like that.
Time is usually the only thing, yes.
Wow.
All right, let's throw one question at you before we have to turn you loose. Doc, Gio. Texter says, I've torn my ACL 3 times, all on the same knee. It's currently torn, and since I'm not playing sports anymore, I don't want to get the surgery again. What can I do to avoid surgery? And he asked the question, I'm just assuming he or she, stem cells.
So it depends what his issues are, right? So if he's unstable, stem cells aren't going to do anything, right? If he's painful, stem cells can help. PRP can help. Saying that, he probably has pain. 3 ACLs. He probably, I guarantee, he probably has arthritis in that knee, right, from all those injuries. Yeah. 1 ACL tear drastically increases your risk of arthritis. He's had 3, so I'm sure that knee is arthritic. So what he's gonna need is can definitely do a stem cell, can definitely do a PRP, can definitely do a cortisone, all for pain relief. If his issue is pain, if his issue is instability, those shots are not going to help.
Okay,
right.
That's
now,
important.
If he's arthritic and unstable, a knee replacement can help you, because then it will stabilize it. Right. One of the symptoms of bad arthritis is you get some instability in the knee occasionally. So I don't know what his symptoms are, but if they're pain, stem cell can help. If it's instability, stem cell will not help.
All right, that's a good way to kind of either like put the qualifier out there one way or the other. PRP, you definitely have it at Bari Orthopedics, so you could definitely go there and find out about it. BariOrthopedics.com. All right, Gio, we turn you loose. Breaking Bones Sunday morning.
That's right.
My turn to buy coffee.
Finally.
I'm bringing bagels too, man. Let's just get ready.
All right, not frozen ones.
Yeah, no. Let's get ready because we're the kickoff to the kickoff show as we're back after the bye week. All right, BariOrthopedics.com, and don't forget you can find our podcast, Google,
Apple, Spotify, and 1010XL website.
Exactly. All right, Gio out.
Thanks,
Say
guys.
hello to or say goodbye to Big Sirs before he actually goes and is out of here.
We still got to do our top 5 in the NFL.
I know. We're so far
Let's
behind.
quick run through it.
We had a great
Well,
run.
I have Leon's. I mean, we could do it next.
Yeah, we'll do it next segment real quick. Big Sirs, honestly, though, when you sit down and you talk with Leroy, just to wrap that up, we had so many great comments on the text line just about, one of their favorite interviews that we've had on this segment. You two guys were greats in a great rivalry. Isn't it fun to be able to just kind of catch up a little bit?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Listen, Leroy's a great man, and he's a great man for not only the NFL, for Florida State, but the city of Jacksonville. And it means so much that someone as great as he is as humble as he is. And for a lot of kids out there, looking for someone to look up to, a role model, somebody who implements integrity and authenticity. I mean, he's your guy. He's your guy. That's why it was so important to him when they asked him the question, how important it is to you that these kids here in Jacksonville know your story because, your current state is not your future state.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Very true.
It was just cool to hear him, and so deserving of the honor among all the other accolades. So deserving of the honor for him to go in the Florida, in the Florida Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah, great story. Great stuff from you too. All right, big bro, we will talk to you mañana.
You got it.
All right, he heads out. We head into the 2 o'clock hour. High school half hour coming up. We do have to hit the playoff picture because it is crazy. The final week of the regular season, what we were treated to, and what we'll have coming up. Golf Club of Southampton, they bring you today's show as we head in and talk a little high school football next.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealers Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Football is a collision sport, but you never want to end up on the injury report.
The concern here is how he landed.
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update on 1010XL.
Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I'm 2 weeks into the Awaken 180 weight loss program, and honestly, it's dummy proof. That's not corporate marketing telling you that. It's first-hand experience. I've lost 9 pounds in the first week, and the ride is exactly where they said it would be. Expect to lose about 8 to 10 pounds in the first week. Continue losing, on average, 4.5 pounds every week. Awaken 180 is a combination of one-on-one coaching, adjusting programs for weekly body composition numbers like body fat percentage and water weight, and eating. Yes, eating 5 to 6 times a day. Get down to your ideal weight fast and safely, and they'll teach you how to keep it off with free lifetime support. There's no supplements, suppressants, or medications, just a safe, simple weight loss program that can work for anyone. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Arthritis is the most common cause of joint pain in America and affects more than 50 million adults. Dr. George Bari here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. For reliable diagnosis and comprehensive treatment options, come see me and the specialists at Bari Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. With more than 35 years of experience in orthopedics, our team delivers compassionate and dedicated care to relieve your pain. Set up a visit today by scheduling online or calling the office. Log on to bariorthopedics.com with locations across Jacksonville.
Now, the Hurricane Report. Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
The Miami Hurricanes dropped their third game of the season 20-6 on the road against North Carolina State on Saturday. Another bad performance from quarterback Tyler Van Dyke, who had 3 interceptions. Mario Cristobal has yet to name a starter for next week's game. Next up is the undefeated Seminoles at 3:30.
Whether you are looking for a job or an employer trying to hire, there's only one stop in Jacksonville, Remedy Staffing. Labor trends keep us guessing. As employers, the job market has been strong. So what does that mean for workers' availability? If you're interested in the workforce solutions or how the Remedy team can help you, call or text Crystal at 904-329-9802. 329-9802, Remedy Staffing.
Dan Hickett here for Bowdeny & Associates. I want to remind you that now is the perfect time to schedule your eye exam. Take advantage of your existing insurance benefits before they reset in January. Join the many satisfied patients who trust Bowdeny with their vision. Schedule your eye exam now and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with clear and healthy eyes. And remember, your deductibles reset in January, so don't miss out on the benefits you've already earned. Bowdeny & Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Pastor Joby Martin here with the Church of 1122. We are honored once again to partner with the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for the Great Futures Weekend, which includes golf and Mackenzie's 5K run at the esteemed TPC Stadium course. Help us continue to honor Mackenzie Wilson's legacy. That's Friday and Saturday, November 17th and 18th. You can golf or you can run. It'll be a great time. Additional info at MackenzieRun.org. Proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, hon, the sink isn't draining well. Kind of makes it sound like this.
What's that sound again? Sounds like hair down the drain.
Mine?
Well, I'm no pro. We should call Duck Duck Rooter and make the sound for them.
Duck Duck Rooter. However you describe your plumbing problem, we have your solution. Duck Duck Rooter. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
904-862-6769.
Have you been thinking about selling your home and just think it's not the right time? You just see a lot of problems out there with getting it done? Let me send you to the problem solvers. That's Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. If you want maximum equity from your home, but you're not sure how, Chad and Sandy are. Chad and Sandy go this far and make you this guarantee. They will sell your home or they will buy it. Carl and Diana in Argyle in Orange Park said, our dream was selling our home so we could travel full-time in our RV. We just had to sell our home for a big price to have the cash to do it right. We heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, hired them, and sold in 10 days at the highest sales price in the neighborhood. It's time to hit the road in style. And when it comes time to sell your home, sell it in style with Chad and Sandy. Go to chadandsandy.com right now and find out more. Or, as always, you can reach them via the phone lines at 904-414-6200. They are the agents we recommend. They're chadandsandy.com.
When you take a sip of Bold City Brewery's many flavors, you're taking a sip of this Bold City. In Duval since 2008, they've been cranking out craft beer for 15 plus years now, so head to their production house on Roselle Street in Riverside or Bold City downtown and sample a Duke's, their legendary brown ale, IPAs, Mad Manatee, and their newest creation, Bold City, plus Duval Light and Killer Whale. It's all on tap at one of the Bold City breweries, or look for them when you're shopping for craft in the cooler section. Log on and taste the craft at boldcitybrewery.com.
At ABBQ, they are turning up the heat this football season like no other. Picture this, 15 massive TVs strategically placed throughout the restaurant so you won't miss a single touchdown. Step into their huge outdoor area where the excitement of the game meets the fresh air. Here's the kicker, and this is a big one for me. They got the sound on blast throughout the restaurant for the whole game. Your destination for mouth-watering barbecue and an unforgettable game day. ABBQ, meet and drink with us.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. One of college football's greatest rivalries will be renewed on Saturday in Tallahassee. Noles head coach Mike Norvell on what makes the Florida State-Miami rivalry special.
Oh, I mean, it's everything from the past, the tradition, the legacy, just an incredible matchup. I mean, you got your two in-state schools that, there's been a lot of success within these teams and these programs, over the years, and just some of the greatest games. And, our players know them, they know us. It's a heated one. It's what college football is all about.
Miami at number 4 Florida State, Saturday at 3:30 on ABC. It's 81 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
This is Pro Football Hall of Famer Leroy Butler, and you're listening to the best radio show, XL Primetime.
It's just awesome.
Truth. He speaks the truth.
Listen, he's always been a supporter. I've always been a fan, and so I just like Leon said it perfectly earlier. The man is a poster child of hope and good living. And that's what he is. And what was the saying he had earlier, Matt, that he gave us as far as what his grandmother said? everyone has a special talent.
Mm-hmm.
Your special, your unique talent is you ignore the negative, which is, man, that when he said that, I was kind of like blown away, actually.
He always finds the good.
There's
no question about that.
It is hard to do, and if you figure it out, it is a very, very good trait. All right, now this off the text line, because everyone's trying to help everybody, which we appreciate on XL Primetime. Good afternoon, good folks of 1010XL Radio. You might want to make a public service announcement to stay away from 95 South near St. Augustine Road, close to 295. It is a parking lot for miles. As you can see, no one is moving.
Now, that is on top of, by the way, and I'm hoping they have fixed this, on 210, when I was getting on 95 this morning, they were fixing the light, and so there was a whole lineup on 210 as well. So
there's already a line there.
Yeah, there was only more.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So, look, the interstate, you think it's supposed to move along fast. These days, it doesn't seem like that is the way it's going. There's just way, way, way too many accidents. So be careful. be careful. All right, JJ, fire up our NFL music because we've got to get to our Power 5, or excuse me, our Power 5 in the NFL.
Exactly. So we did college earlier. So I have Leon's. Last week, Leon had the Dolphins, Ravens, Jags, Chiefs, and Eagles number 1. This week, he's had the Bengals crack into his top 5, unsurprisingly. He has them number 5. Jags dropped a spot for him, number 4. Ravens 3, KC still number 2, and the Eagles still his number 1 team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll go on to Maddie. Dolphins last week, number 5. Jags 4, Ravens 3, Chiefs 2, Eagles 1.
All right, so this is actually it's getting more difficult, by the way.
Oh, it is.
Definitely getting more difficult. I'm going to stick with the Jags at 5. I'm not comfortable with it, honestly, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see this week. Let's see what happens this week. You win at home as a 3-point dog. 3 points dog, right?
3.5, yeah.
Yeah. You win at home as a 3-point dog against a team that's probably has a better roster other than the quarterback, right? You would agree. That's a safe assumption. Then you got something. I got your Lions at 4.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Chefs at 3. I like the way they played against the Dolphins. I mean, again, the Dolphins are what they are. They do not play well away from home. They just don't. I got the Ravens at 2, and as much as I don't want, I mean, I know everybody's gonna have the Eagles at 1. I just don't know that they're the best team in the NFL. But again, that's a group of 6-7 teams where you could say, yeah, they could win the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
All right. Mia last week had the Ravens number 5, the Jacksonville Jaguars number 4, Dolphins 3, Chiefs 2, and the Eagles number 1.
So I did bump the Ravens up, and in turn, the Jags dropped to 5, just because, and we'll get to the argument here in a second, but what the Ravens did against the Seahawks, if you blow out one team in the Detroit Lions, that's an isolated incident. If you blow out another team in the Seattle Seahawks that's also contending for a playoff spot, now that's a pattern. So because of that, the Jags are at 5. The Bengals make their first appearance in my top 5 at number 4 because you can't ignore the strength of their victories over the Bills and 49ers, who I would probably put somewhere in the 6-10 range in this poll. The Ravens are at 3 after that dominant performance against the Seahawks. The Chiefs remain at 2 and the Eagles 1, just by virtue of the Eagles have one more win. Although I agree with Matt, I haven't been bowled over by Philadelphia. Kansas City, though, and I believe we made this argument on Monday because Nick Wright made it on FS1, Kansas City looks like a complete team. I'm not sure you could say that in the early parts of Patrick Mahomes' tenure as their quarterback. They were an elite offense, but their defense was suspect. Now, and Nick pointed this out, you let Tyreek Hill walk, but in turn, the money you would have paid Tyreek, you have used those draft picks and that capital to develop a defense, to develop depth along the offensive line, and it's paying dividends right now.
All right, Joe had his Lions, number 5 last week. Ravens 4, Jags 3, Dolphins 2, and the Eagles 1. The Chiefs not in his top 5 last week.
I'll just tell you this much. It's a volatile voting system when I go to the panel, the committee, and we sort through things at Sunset Grill. I'll have another, and it takes a little bit of time for us to get to a consensus. But we still are at a consensus when it comes to my Detroit Lions. I still have them top 5, Motown best. They are still right now clicking along, and I can't help it. I am so impressed with Cincinnati Bengals. They are good on both sides of the football. Do not dismiss the Bengals defense and what they've got going on that side, along with Burrow and company. Bengals 4. The Ravens have had some quality wins, and I thought it was just a lot of hyperbole trying to create a game out of the Seahawks and the Ravens. Well, it was pretty obvious that Baltimore way better, especially at home, because those were 2 really good defenses, and they just destroyed Geno Stone destroyed Geno Smith, basically. Jaguars are number 2 in my Power 5, and I want to see what they do, obviously, when it comes to the defensive side of the football, stopping that powerhouse that San Francisco is going to roll into town with. They've got the home field. They've got the bye week. Both teams have had that, but they're, I'm thinking, getting healthier than maybe San Francisco is right now. They've really got to send a message if they can. And then the Eagles, it's hard to argue, man. They fought off the Dallas Cowboys. They fought off others. So I'm keeping them number 1 in my Power 5. All right, so you guys, you'll post them, right, JJ?
You had the Dolphins number 2 last week.
I kicked them right out.
Chiefs beat them.
Kicked them right out.
And they're not in the top 5.
Nope. You want to know why?
I have no idea why.
I'll
you
just
don't
tell you
think
this,
the Chiefs are one of the top 5 teams in the NFL?
Yeah, because they were down 21-0 by some of their own mistakes that they made, and they clawed their way back. But even though I thought they did some good things defensively, I still think they can't beat the good football team out there. So I kicked them out.
No, I'm talking about why don't you have the Chiefs in the top 5?
Oh, well, I forgot about them because they were in front.
I forgot about them?
Yeah, no, I just kicked them out because, like, JJ and I have had this battle going back and forth, both with the Dolphins and with the Chiefs. So I keep bringing them in, and then I take them right back out. All right, give it to me. What do you got, top 5?
Quickly, I have the Cowboys number 5. I think they played the Eagles pretty tough, and I think they're going to be there towards the end of the season. Yeah, I love the Cowboys right now. 4, I have the Jags. Bengals, number 3 for me. They look like an unstoppable force on offense. They could have won that game by 1,000 on Sunday night. Eagles, number 2, and I still have the Chiefs, number 1. I just think
you've been steady.
I think at the end of the year they'll be around because they have the best quarterback and the best coach.
No Ravens.
No, not yet. I like the Cowboys better than the Ravens.
Yeah, because the Chiefs, they were up 21-0, got outscored 14-0 in the second half. I mean, come on.
That is
the facts are facts.
Just say you forgot them. Just say you forgot it.
No, I did say that, but then I said I've been kicking them out, bringing them back, kicking them out. And you know what?
He has.
I'll just admit
it's very volatile.
I'll just admit this, and I'm sitting there with the fellas, and I'm saying this, and I'm like, I'm developing a little bit of Mahomes hate.
You are.
I am
all season.
And look, he's great. It's kind of like when you're a Lakers fan, you grow to hate Steph Curry, but then you have to recognize just how great he is. And I know how great Mahomes is, but I'm being honest. I just am developing a little bit of a hate for him.
They haven't looked phenomenal this year at all. They've looked pretty average, but it's still, to me,
they get
Mahomes
it done.
and Andy Reid.
They do get it done. Yeah. They do get it done. All right, Mia, you're heading to the locker room.
Yes, practice scheduled to end a little bit before 3, so I'm going to jet out now. And, of course, we will have updates, video, interviews, and a whole lot more. 1010XL's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of the social channels.
Yep, you name it. Go look for it because she will have plenty coming your way. In high school half hour coming up next, Theatric Faison. We're definitely going to ask him a little bit about his Gator squad as a great Gator, but then also he's coaching up those Fletcher Senators, and they're on the way to the postseason.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. It's fun to play. Yes. It's even more fun to win. Yes. It's 1010XL's weekly pick'em contest, brought to you by J. David Tax Law and MyBookie. You could win a barbecue feast from ABBQ. You pick 'em at 1010XL.com.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Ackerman Urology's new World Golf Village location is now open, just off I-95 on International Golf Parkway. Visit the experts at Ackerman for all your prostate and urological concerns. AckermanUrology.com.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Need to enhance your home's curb appeal? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Replacing with new stone pavers will transform your driveway into a stunning work of art. Say goodbye to unsightly concrete and hello to beautiful, durable pavers that last for years. Visit Stonecore today and let's beautify your home together. Stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Friday is the Marine Corps birthday and the day before Veterans Day, and we'll be honoring veterans from 3 to 7 at String Sports Brewery with a free barbecue sandwich, side, and a beer for all veterans. Thanks to our friends at Northeast Florida Firewatch Council, which was created to address veteran suicide prevention in Northeast Florida, and the Cohen Clinic at Centerstone that offers outpatient mental health for post-9/11 veterans and military families. So come out this Friday to Strings from 3 to 7 to support veterans and military families in our community.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Want even more excitement on game day? Then test your skills at Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick their projection from a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. Simple. You can turn $10 into $250 just like that. Tonight, I've got Bowling Green quarterback Connor Bazelak to throw for less than 180 yards. Now listen to this. Prize Picks is the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Sweat it out watch your entries in real time, and continue the fun by making picks on second half and fourth quarter stats. Take your game day experience to the next level with Prize Picks. And right now, when you go to prizepicks.com/1010XL and use the promo code 1010XL, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. That's right, $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
I'm Hacker, and I'll get you ready for Billy Napier's second season on the Florida sideline during the Gator Bites podcast, presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, with new episodes dropping every Wednesday. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts.
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
The best time of the year for blue crabs right now at the Blue Crab Crab House. They've been open since 1996, and they are a staple here in Duval. Sundays, you have the Bloody Mary specials, mimosas as well, $2.50 noon until 5 o'clock. Of course, each and every Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oysters. Right off of San Jose on Jewington Creek Road, it is the Blue Crab Crab House.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade. The studied, tested, and proven fuel for the world's greatest athletes. Gatorade, proudly supporting high school sports on the First Coast.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
J. David Tax Law is right here in Jacksonville and provides tax relief for all personal payroll and sales tax problems. They've achieved thousands of successful outcomes for their clients, and that's why their reputation speaks for itself. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, do your research to see why J. David Tax Law is the most effective option to relieve your tax burden. Call J. David Tax Law at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777, or at jdavidtaxlaw.com.
The Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is now offering online scheduling for new patient appointments for all of their physicians. Simply schedule your appointment on your cell phone, tablet, or desktop. JOI is the first orthopedic practice in North Florida to offer this feature to patients. To schedule your appointment online, visit joi.net and click on the button at the top of the page. If you'll be using insurance, be sure and have your information handy. JOI, where the pros go.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's the high school half hour on XL Primetime. Brought to you by Gatorade. Fuel up with Gatorade at your local Winn-Dixie. And I-9 Sports, the way youth sports should be.
I-9 Sports encouraging all you moms and dads, grandparents, whatever it might be, get your kids in the game. And right now, winter and spring registration open. They got brand new places like West Connect Athletic Association and Fort Family Field in Bay Meadows, so make sure you check them out. We've got Gatorade, the proven fuel for high school athletes, bringing you the high school half hour as well as we say hello to a playoff-bound head coach.
Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
Former Gator, former Fletcher standout, Seatric Faison joins us now as he's coached his Senators. I say Seatric on a pretty good roll to end the year with a big win over Atlantic Coast and now heading into the postseason. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What do you think of the way? Maybe take the beginning of the year and the end of the year, and how you think your team is responding and playing.
We're responding pretty good. You know, the beginning of the year we start off a little slow. Lost the first game to Mandarin. Came back. Childs, quarterback, get hurt early. Team pretty much shut it down. Adversity kicked us in the butt that second game versus Childs, and the third and fourth game. Until we got Marcellus back, man, the team did a great job on rallying around each other and just playing hard. And, you know, that's a testament to just having a lot of seniors on the team and kids that's been in this situation before, because the last 2 years we done the same things. We started off 0-3 one year and then 1-3 the next year, and this year 0-2. And the team always respond, and that's just a testament to these seniors because they all been around for the last 3 years.
Theatric, how do you pull the kids out of that? Like, the first couple games, you lose the first couple games. The second one, like you said, it looked terrible. How do you get them back on track? How do you get them refocused?
You just tell them, you know, everybody looks to go undefeated. I look to go undefeated, but you gotta tell them, you know, the ultimate goal is getting the district championship. But if not the district championship, put yourself in position to get to the playoffs. And those kids listen and they rally around. At the end of the day, their ultimate goal was to get to the playoffs so we could try to make a state run.
Overtime loss to First Coast, and you bounce back with the big win over Atlantic Coast. And the message, I'm guessing, Theatric, is that, you know, go ahead and just play your hearts out. You're facing a Tampa Bay Tech team that you don't really know a whole heck of a lot about them. What have you told your team going into this game?
Oh, well, we know a lot about them. You know, they knocked us out of the playoffs last year. We played them first round in the playoffs last year. We know that they don't have the same D-line or same O-line, but they got all the skill positions back except for the quarterback. And, you know, they whooped us at our home field last year. So the motivation was, if we could get Tampa Tech again, let's be prepared for them. You know, they surprised us last year because film don't tell their true speed and, you know, the true power from a team. And last year, we was like, okay, this looked like a team we should be all right with, but this speed caught us by surprise last year. But this year, the day after we lost to First Coast, I ended up going down to, we played First Coast on the Thursday. I ended up going down to Tampa Bay Tech and watching Armwood and them go at it in person. And, you know, so I was preparing already. I kind of had an idea, even after the First Coast loss, that we was probably still going to be the 6th seed. So I just had to prepare. And if we was the 7th seed, it would have been Armwood. So it worked out perfect that week because I was able to watch both teams we was possibly going to play against each other. So we definitely prepared this year, and the guys seem motivated, and we're going to go down there Friday and try to do whatever we can just to be up by 1 point when that clock hits 0.
Yeah, amen. So Theatric, what are the dynamics of that trip? That's not a short trip. I mean, it's a good haul for you guys going down there. How will you break it up, and how will you keep the guys focused the whole time?
The good thing is there's no school Friday, so we're going to get together early Friday. We told everybody, you know, they're going to meet at the field house at 9. Everybody go get their food, meet at 9. We get on the charter bus, head out by 10:30. Go down to Tampa. As soon as we get to Tampa, find a restaurant to eat at. Well, I think they already got one in mind, so we're gonna find a restaurant to eat at and try to find a field, you know, just to walk around before the games and find a location to pretty much bed down and start getting ready around 5 o'clock. You know, the dynamics between Jacksonville and Tampa, you know, we play our games at 6:30 here. They play their games at 7:30 there. So that's probably the biggest adjustment. It wouldn't be so bad if it was like it used to be when everybody played at 7:30, but, you know, we were playing at 7:30, and I think, you know, the extra hour, you know, probably don't know how the kids going to react, but we're going to try to keep them busy. Not so much football, because you teach too much football, you'll bore the kids out before the game. So We're just going to try to keep them ready and you know, just a little active.
It does sound like experience that Theatric's been through can help pay off as a coach, because I agree with you. All right, real quick before we turn you loose, and if you do have a caravan of fans, we want you to give the information on how they can keep up with what's going on down there. But do you, as we segue to a quick Florida thought, do you have a game changer coordinator traveling with you, Theatric? Do you? Are you keeping track of what's going on down in Gainesville with the game changer and everything? That was a disaster on Saturday.
I'm definitely keeping track with it. You know, I'm trying to figure out who's in the box helping them. Like, you know, especially right before the final field goal that was chaotic before overtime. Like, it was no reason to try to run the kickoff out there because we downed the ball, we threw it down, and they ran it out there like it was a run play in, you know, last 10 seconds of the game. Let's see if we can hurry up and get the field goal out. So from that point on, it's been chaotic the whole year, man. You know, sometimes we're a little indecisive on what we want to do. We probably got two of the better running backs from the SEC. Sometimes we use them, sometimes we don't. But the one thing I don't want to see, I'm tired of the 2 and 3 tight end sets. That's not a Florida Gator football formation.
Is it Cedric, you being the running back that you were there at Florida and in the NFL, is it bizarre to you that a guy like Trevor Etienne is not getting the ball somehow 20 times a game?
Etienne, man, it's crazy. I was telling somebody, I said, watching Etienne kind of reminds it of myself my sophomore year. You know, I was the third back to get the ball, but I led the team in rushing yards. It was crazy. So when I watched Etienne, I'm like, he kind of going through the same thing, but you're correct. That kid should be touching it at minimum 15 times, and I'm not talking about kickoff return.
Right.
But he could catch out the backfield. He can run inside, out zone. We got to find a way to, future that guy. We're doing a good job lately on featuring Eugene Wilson, but this time we start featuring Etienne, man. The sky's the limit for that kid, and he's always a carry away from and taking it to the house.
It's true. Those are their two best, it looks like. All right, so tell everybody how they can keep up with the Fletcher Senators rolling down to Tampa Bay.
This week, I know the game is going to be streamed, I think, on the High School Association. But I also know if they go into the game, they got to get their ticket through GoFan. But I know it's definitely going to be streamed. You know, I'm getting different things every day, so I can't tell them what is exactly going to be streamed on, but I know it is going to be streamed. I know it's that national sports thing throughout the country, so I think that's the best way to probably watch it. But the best thing to do is come down and show support, man, and we need some fans behind us, man, because that atmosphere at Tampa Bay Tech is crazy. So the more fans we get down there, the better for us.
I love it, man. Listen, best of luck. Good road trip to you and the kids, and play hard.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, man. Cedric Faison, coach of the Fletcher Senators, as they get ready for Tampa Bay Tech. And we'll find out. We got to go through the rest of the playoff picture because district champs have been crowned, but there's a lot of other playoff spots to hit with our man Justin Barney coming up next. High school half hour, thanks to I-9 Sports and Gatorade. Don't forget Gatorade. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. It's the moment when they were rolling.
Let's keep it rolling.
Tire Outlet brings you the drive of the game.
And this place is rocking right now.
Tire Outlet. Wholesale prices, premium service. On 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Spend less on a new home comfort system with Fenwick Home Services Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing's automatic savings event. You can get up to $1,500 back on qualifying systems, plus up to 20% off select new system installs. Call Fenwick Home Services today for a free estimate and a free second opinion before this event ends. Hurry and visit FenwickHomeservices.com or call Fenwick today, 904-977-8519.
At Golden Hammer Roofing and Gutters, you get the golden standard in roofing. They can do 99% of home roofs in just one day. No construction activities lingering around for an extended period, allowing you to resume your normal activities. Plus weather protection. You minimize the risk for rain or weather damage during the construction process. Call or visit to find out if they can do your roof in just one day.
Golden Hammer Roofing and Gutters.
Golden Hammer!
The golden standard in roofing.
Life is short, so eat better pizza at 5 Star Pizza. You want pizza that's bigger, better, and faster? Then get 5 Star Pizza. They also got wings, cheesy sticks, garlic rolls, and they'll deliver it to you right now at 5 Star Pizza.
Malfunctions in your electrical panel can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
98.8 Sparky. Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
Mark Watson for Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball has cooler promotions, but some people call them ice chests. Either way, check out the items you can put your company logo on at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Fish are good at hiding. Captain Kevin can help you find them.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Find more fish on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
Thursday nights at 6.
Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss on 1010XL AM.
The year is almost over. Do you need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt-free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit can get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Listen, if you have a ton of equity in your house and Loan Pronto can help you turn that equity into cash, you can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards, pay off personal loans, or start that home improvement project. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact. So your 3% rate, it's protected. And with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line program, 90% of the time, there's no need for an appraisal. So you can get your money super fast. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards before the new year. Get yourself on solid financial footing before the year ends and call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal Housing Lender, NLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Huge Glock sale going on now at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Stop in today with prices on Glock sidearms so good we can't even say it on this radio commercial. No lines, no hassle, only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
The YMCA provides after-school care programs for kindergartners through middle school at over 40 sites across the First Coast. Our programs focus on safety, health, social and emotional growth, and academic enhancement. At the Y, your child can build self-reliance, get help with schoolwork, explore new talents, and develop healthy relationships with others, all in a safe, nurturing environment. Plus, financial assistance is available. Learn more at fcymca.org.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Thanks to the coaches and the schools who believe in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is head coach Ferland Dormany of Trinity Christian Academy High School. Our athletic program selected Southeast Orthopedic Specialists to work with our state championship football team and will continue to use them. We recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
There's no way to prepare for the impact an accident makes on your life. That's why we've spent 40 years getting ready for that moment when you need compassion and immediate action. The right doctors, investigators, our team of experienced attorneys, and your free consultation is already in place. So if you've been hurt, remember, the Farah Safety Net is right here to catch you. All you have to do is call Farah & Farah. It's what we built. Jacksonville.
This holiday season, Famous Automotive and Tire is offering a buy 3, get 1 free sale on all new tire sizes and brands, plus all shocks and struts. Visit the shop for details. Then buy 3, get 1 free at Famous Automotive and Tire, servicing every customer like they're famous.
Be here and be loud as the Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans Sunday, November 19th. Be at the bank for this divisional rivalry when Trevor Lawrence leads the team in an exciting matchup. Plus, join us as we celebrate Salute to Service and honor our military all game day long. Seats may be sold out, but a limited number of standing room only tickets are still available, so don't miss your chance to be there. Visit jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000 now.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The 49ers acquired former number 2 overall pick Chase Young from Washington at the trade deadline last week. Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson today on the challenge of facing the pass rushing tandem of Chase Young and Nick Bosa.
We have experience and we have film on Chase in Washington and coached against him and an excellent football player. And of course, with Bosa, we know the type of player he is and the respect that he gets and deserves. And it's a challenge, to have two, edge rushers like this. But, we've done this before. You had Bosa and Mack, with the Chargers.
I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's the high school half hour on XL Primetime. Brought to you by Gatorade. Fuel up with Gatorade at your local Winn-Dixie. And I-9 Sports, the way youth sports should be.
I-9 Sports, West Connect Athletic Association. That's one of their new places to play in Fort Family Field in Bay Meadows. You can log on i9sports.com with winter and spring registration open right now. We have got to name our Gatorade Player of the Week coming up, but first,
let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
Our man Justin Barney, he keeps track of all of it as well as anybody in the market. Welcome in, Jay Barn. How are you, man?
Not too bad, Joe. So you're getting some playoff football. The weather's cold, and our team's still playing football late November, so it's good to see.
It's always something that you remind us of. If kids and teams can play till Thanksgiving, they've done something. All right, so just set up real quick the exclamation point of the regular season before we hit on some of these playoff games.
Last week I think it was coming down to the game we had circled, Nice to Coy Creek and Creekside Ponte Vedra. Nice needed to win that game for a district championship. It did that, 47-27. And Creekside needed to win and beat Ponte Vedra to get in the playoffs. It was on that playoff fence down the stretch due to some underdogs winning their district championships. Both those things happened. Creekside gets in the playoffs not as a 6 seed, but actually as a 5 seed. So that was an interesting jump up due to that big win over Ponte Vedra. And also Riverside jumped up and gets the number 2 seed in Region 1-2M by 1/100th of a point over Orlando Bishop Moore. So I thought those are the 3 big things in that last week of the regular season. So pretty good Week 11 games, and we can have some good ones here hopefully for the next 5 weeks.
So, Justin, there's some healthy trips in the playoff, and I'm sure you know that. What are the dynamics behind that? Does the FHSAA give money to help these guys get these charter buses, the teams to get charter buses to travel, or is that all on the school?
That's on the school to get out there. Barton Trail, a team that's getting out there and having to take that trip to Navarre. You're probably talking $15,000-$20,000 for a bus ride out there, and chartering buses for a big school like that to get out there and get there. So, playoff revenue is redistributed in a sense come the end of the year. But, FHA gets a lot of that playoff revenue and hopefully to avoid those long road trips to Pensacola's and stuff. But Bartram's win over Mandarin last week put in that number 3 seed and made that trip to Navarre on Friday night for an 8:30 kick happen. A loss to Mandarin would have probably kept them at home. So, kind of hamstrung by that last win.
So I know we're early on as far as years in this whole process, but has there ever been a school that has just said we can't afford to make the trip?
I've never seen that happen. And you've had a lot of these situations in the past. Usually, area teams will play out on Panhandle in the first, second, third round. I've seen those games before. I've never seen a team that has just said, "Hey, I don't have money to make that trip." But yeah, it's a costly thing when you're having to get more than just the yellow dogs and ride out there in a chartered bus. Right. 6, 7, 8 hour trip. You're closer to Alabama than Florida at that point. But yeah, expensive. Football brings in the money, but it's also the costliest sport too.
Yeah, that's L.A. Lower Alabama. You are right. All right, so let's hit it. The games that you have your eye on, the biggest ones coming up this weekend.
Yeah, I think you got to start Creekside and Ponte Vedra. They played in Week 11 at Creekside. The Knights won that game 26-21. Well, first round of the playoffs, we'll call it Part B of that matchup. Creekside goes to Ponte Vedra as the number 5 seed. Ponte Vedra the 4 seed. I think that's the headliner in Week 1. Obviously, Bishop Kenny and Bowles get to do it over again, too. I think Bowles wins that game handily. They won the regular season matchup just a few weeks ago, 52-18. Baldwin and Baker County, also a good game in that suburban round of the playoffs. And you got games like Episcopal, Riverside as well. Jackson, Rains. I think the home teams in that scenario win big. University Trinity Christian, that's not until next week, but that is a good first-round game as well. So a lot of good local matchups here in round 1.
Yeah, because we take a look at it. First Coast wins the district. Mandarin does. Rains does. Bowles and Trinity, that's not a surprise there. And then Riverside. So the best story of those coming out winning the district.
I think in terms of another best story not mentioned there is Middleburg. How about Middleburg? The Broncos back in the playoffs, back-to-back years under Coach Ryan Wolf. That's just the second time in program history they have gone to back-to-back playoff trips, the first since 1989 and 1990. So really cool to see the Broncos do that. In First Coast as well, you mentioned they kind of came from a late season surge. They win 6 games this season, including beating Fletcher in Week 10 to get that district championship. But unfortunately, they got to go on the road to Orlando Edgewater, same trip they had to make last year. They lost 57-6 in that game, and Fletcher, as a number 60, going to Tampa Bay Tech, they lost 34-3 in that game last year. So our gateway teams in Region 1-3M, some unfavorable matchups in round 1.
Well, hopefully they can come back winners. We will see, but you're right. There's some big I love the Yellow Dogs reference. That takes me back in time for sure. But we will keep an eye on it. You can keep an eye as well with Justin at Justin Barney TV on social media at newsforjacks.com/sports. Always appreciate your intel, my man.
Take care, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, Justin Barney out, our Gatorade Player of the Week. We need to say congratulations to Nice running back Cam Smith. 5 touchdowns in that district title game. And so now he and the Nice Panthers get to host Niceville coming up with a 6 o'clock kick on Friday night. So that'll be good. Gatorade.
I didn't even realize that Live Golf would let him play high school football.
Right, believe it.
Right.
And Cam Smith, not only is he in the NFL, he's still playing high school football and starring while fishing right out of his dock in Palm Valley. There's so many Cam Smiths running around.
170-pounder, right?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, exactly. All right, proven fuel for high school athletes. Gatorade. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie, and we say congratulations to Smith with his Player of the Week award. We get ready for the Frangie Show coming up next as we wrap it up with our I-9 Sports High School half hour.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Hey Jacksonville, Mia here, and we are thrilled to partner with the Great Futures Weekend and the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida to bring you the Great Futures Golf Classic and Mackenzie's Run, all at the beautiful stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. Proceeds from this event continue the legacy of Mackenzie Wilson. Come play golf with us on Friday or join us on Saturday for the Fun Run or 5K. That's Friday and Saturday, November 17th and 18th. You can find out more information online at mackenziesrun.org.
Catch high school football play-by-play on 1010XL.
It's round 1 of Region 1 2M playoffs. Bishop Kenny at Bowles. Friday night at 7:30 on 1010 AM and 92.5 FM.
Save big at Key Buick GMC up to $7,250 all new Buicks. Receive really low APR rates like 1.9% APR financing for 36 months, 4.1% for 48 or 60 months, 5.04% APR for up to 72 months, and enjoy no payments on all new Buicks for 120 days. As always, whenever you purchase a brand new vehicle from Key, whether it's a Buick or GMC, it comes with the lifetime powertrain warranty. Across the street from Tinseltown, Southside and Gate.
Brackish Vodka, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is the smoothest local vodka you can find. Made right here in Jacksonville, Florida, 100% from corn, Brackish Vodka is the local gluten-free choice. Brackish Vodka, for those that live life slightly salty, a proud partner of the Jaguars.
Come out and celebrate 20 years at Sahara Cafe and Bar with your favorite hookah flavor and a delicious Brackish Vodka beverage.
Men, suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? Frustrated taking pills that don't work? Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough treatments with men lasting longer than ever without pain or surgery.
Call now. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results right in the office. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Family and friends coming over for Thanksgiving, but the house is a mess? That's why First Coast Home Pros is here. Let their maid services keep your home spotless for the holidays. You're a great host. Let's keep it that way. FirstCoastHomePros.com.
Any action? Find more fish on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
That's a big redfish, guys.
With Captain Kevin Faber.
Oh my gosh.
Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6.
On 1010XL AM.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, how much does a 1-carat diamond cost?
David, that's an impossible question to answer because a carat's only a measure of weight for a gemstone. It would be no different than you going to a car dealer and asking how much a 2,500-pound car costs, which the car salesman would find as ridiculous. Diamonds are graded for 4 things. Carat weight's just one of those factors. The others are the cut, color, and clarity. At Underwoods, each of these factors is graded for specifically with a grade set by a certified gemologist at the American Gem Society or the Gemological Institute of America Diamond Grading Laboratory. So when you ask about a diamond's weight, we're going to tell you more than just the price. At Underwoods, we want a customer to understand how all 4 factors of diamond quality relate back to the beauty, rarity, and value of the diamond. Everybody understands the value of a dollar, but at Underwoods, we want our customers to know what their dollar buys in diamond value. So if quality counts with you, stop by Underwoods.
San Marco, Avondale, the shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
Toilet or shower not draining? Water bill high? So many issues you want to cry? Call Mr. Rooter of Jacksonville. Have your number 2 business serviced by your number 1 plumber. Let us do your dirty work. Call us today.
Mr. Rooter, Mr. Rooter.
The shoulder is one of the body's largest joints, prone to a variety of injuries and conditions that cause pain. Dr. George Bari here, and at Bari Orthopedics, we know an active lifestyle can lead to serious joint pain. We can help with an accurate diagnosis and treatment for a full spectrum of shoulder injuries, from arthritis, bursitis, tendonitis, or rotator cuff and labral tearing. Bari Orthopedics can help. If you or a loved one suffers from shoulder pain, don't hesitate to call or log on to bariorthopedics.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Get into the game at Best Bet. Come enjoy the best in-card games, hospitality, and fun at Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park. You don't have to be a poker pro to have a great time. Featuring poker games of all limits and easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em and Pai Gow. Wager on exciting simulcast races and enjoy delicious food and drink. Our card rooms are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. and 24 hours on Saturday and Sunday. Details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 2-minute drill. Brought to you by Tire Outlet. Keeping 1010XL on track with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
I see one day the Embedded and Shredded inducted into some Hall of Fame. I'm not quite sure which one, but he is celebrating the Hall of Fame for the state of Florida, along with the rest of the Francis Show this afternoon, down at the beautiful Florida Theater, Hayes Carline.
Yes, Joe, thank you for those kind words. I don't think that will be happening anytime soon, but I do appreciate the
I'm going to write your acceptance speech.
And I'm going to write yours, kind sir. It doesn't get any better than this. I mean, we're at the Florida Theater. It's a beautiful facility, obviously historic, and what a Hall of Fame class. Really enjoyed you guys' interview with Leroy Butler earlier today. So, yeah, we're looking forward to catching up with these great inductees and getting to a bunch of Jaguars, Gators, Knowles talk, as well as the Canes and Dogs coming up on the Frangie Show.
Yeah, and we had a fun moment there where they were just kind of trading back and forth, he and Leon, as far as FSU Miami, and he was a great in that game. So was Leon, and I kind of miss those days as far as the cream of the crop in college football.
We were looking at it yesterday, and I want to say it was the 90, 91, 92 game. They both were ranked in the top 3 in every game.
Yeah.
For a 3-year stretch. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah,
and obviously, it had a 20-year unbelievable run. But, I mean, think of that, of two rivals being ranked in the top 3 every year they play for 3 straight years. For my childhood, it was the greatest football rivalry. And it still is such a fun game, one that I look forward to every year, as I know we all do that love college football around here. So it's probably going to be closer than last year because I don't know that it could be much worse for Miami, but I still think the Noles are going to hold the edge when we get to Saturday evening.
Well, listen, dude, we will be looking forward to listening to those interviews that you guys will have from the Florida Sports Hall of Fame down at the Florida Theater. Thanks, dude.
Thanks so much.
All right, man, we appreciate it. Let's do this right now.
Now, today's takeaways, brought to you by Key Buick GMC, where our family dealership has been helping families buy vehicles for over 50 years.
My takeaway is Leroy Butler. What a human being, man. Find him anywhere on social media, Leap36, and help him. He's trying to help the homelessness, and I think that's just an awesome thing.
Well, you read my mind because I was reading your mind, and let's just stay on Leroy because I pulled up the website, endhomelessness.org. endhomelessness.org, and that's where he was trying to direct you to if you can go and help. He did the telethon yesterday, raised $10,000, and all right here in the city of Jacksonville doing good work. So we appreciate him dropping by, and you got plenty more coming your way from the Florida Sports Hall of Fame a little bit later on. We say thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton, always on a Wednesday, and you know every single day they're going to give you a great golf experience. So call 287-PLAY. Don't forget trivia tomorrow night, and you got Friday night on the patio with live music. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Sirs, and Mia down at the Jaguars kicking out great stuff on our 1010XL social channels. JJ, take it away.
Buckle up.